do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. The program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue.
Trying to get some stuff fixed here real quick. Listen to one more song while we wait.
I'm gay. I suck penis every day. Fuck me in the ass until you make me spray. I'm fucking gay. I've been romantically. Drop your balls into my mouth. I really love the taste. Yeah, I'm gay. I need cum to start my day. 1 teaspoon of penis juice to keep the straight away. I'm fucking gay. Your home was made for me. I'll crawl inside and live a life of quiet dignity. I'm fucking gay. first is also gay. Yeah, my last name is the same. I'm fucking gay. At least that's what they say when they see me dancing gaily in the big gay fag parade. Yeah, I'm gay. I eat poo-poo like souffle and wash it down with piss like delicious lemonade. I'm fucking gay, and gay sex is my trade. Bottom to top, I'll call a lot and make it gray. Don't tell my wife, she's not about this life. She doesn't know I'm with her, cause she looks like a guy. Don't tell my kids, they never would forgive. They don't know that I'm the one Googling penis kiss. Don't tell the cops, they'd confiscate my cock and lock me up in jail with all the early cons. Tell the cops, I'm gayer than they thought. I've got a taste for man flesh and that will never stop. Cause I'm gay. That's right, I'm gay. Guess what, I'm gay. Yeah, I'm gay. Cause I'm gay. That's right, I'm gay. Guess what, I'm gay. I'm fucking gay. I'm fucking gay. They call me Gay Jack the Ripper, cause I hate women and I'm gay. I'm like gay Jeffrey Dahmer, if he was normal and not straight.
All right, all right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I love that song. I might have just caused Grizzle to unfriend me if you heard that one. But that one's a particularly funny song. How is it going today, guys? How y'all doing? Everyone having a good time? It has been an interesting couple of days, at least, with some of the stuff. And I guess I started a shitstorm. I guess I gave out information that wasn't known at the time to the public, and ruffled a few feathers. Got into it with old 8-bit Eric, and a couple of randoms online. We're going to talk about some of that. On top of it, 8-bit Eric has put out a video on Alyssa Mercante, of course. So I'm going to put on my little well, I don't have a white knight or a knight wiggler for this situation, but I figure since Alyssa, 2-bit Eric, right? I figure since Alyssa's considered a wretched, evil lefty, I would just go ahead and put on my heretic outfit to defend her. So before we get into some of that stuff, we're also going to get into some pirate software things. I got a video where a developer talks about some of the ideas around what you could do, and kind of talks against pirate software's idea that all developers hate this and it's just going to be terrible for the industry in general. 8 Freak Eric, I like that one. We'll show off some little dances. Simon said he had a video and I couldn't find it. I remember it, but I couldn't find it. So if he's in there, hopefully he'll make himself known and he'll send it to me. If not, we may have a few small cases to go over. But let's switch over to... Nope, not that one. Gaming. Is it going to pop up, or am I going to have to go? There we go. There we go. So hopefully I'll try not to get eaten by a worm while we're going through all of this. I got some. But I got water now. So we are living the dream. When did I get these guys? Oh, I made them when I was on the other side. Let's extract some water. Let's drink a little bit of water. Start some building. So I thought I'd do a little opener. I got a video sent to me that I thought was very interesting. So we're gonna look at that here. It's a fairly short video, just like 14 minutes, and it's on everyone's favorite. If I can get it to pop up. Oh, I may not have it. Okay. Okay. Completely unprepared for Steam. Had to wrestle a pig inside. Talking to the wife about some, homebound things. Just not prepared for chat at all. Let's do this. Properties is it. Where are you? Where are you? No, not that one. There we go. There we go. Here is the video we're gonna watch. Maybe. There it is. Here, I'll make it a little bigger so we can see this beautiful, beautiful man. This is a interesting video by everybody's friend, everybody's favorite, Smash JT. I've seen much worse leftists than her. Noah Sampson, Philosophy Tube are two good examples. Yeah, Philosophy Tube, that's a name that I know probably too much about. And I don't really know anything about her, but that much was too much. Yeah, and you could talk to like, we could go into Denims, Frogan, you can get into all of those really far, crazy lefties. Let's not do that. So let's listen to this Smash JT little video called "This Message Will Not Self-Destruct in 48 Hours."
Pirate software is right about
what? Well, okay. Apparently, not that video.
Specific thing.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. And today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I guess if you want, you can call it a channel update, but it's more of something I've been thinking about for a while now on how to handle my channel moving forward, because I've been getting frustrated.
Okay, he's changing his channel up here, getting some things done and taken care of. So let's see. It looks like his channel isn't doing so well at this time.
A lot. Now, I know every time I talk about frustrations, people's brains start churning and start making excuses and trying to provide reasons and rationale as to why something isn't working the way it should be working, or why I should do something different instead of doing this other thing. And it's just so much contradiction, hypocrisy, and confusion that gets thrown into it that I'm just going to ignore all of that and talk about what I want to do moving forward. JT. I don't want this video to come off as me complaining about YouTube or my channel not being successful like it should, even though that's kind of deep down how I feel. It's not fair to do that.
McDizzle, Smash Salt, fun, of course. We like to talk about Smash. I feel a little sorry for this Smash because I feel like we missed out on a very what a clip, or what a stop, a very different Smash, a Smash that, as we've seen from your video, McDizzle, is more reasonable in his takes. Whoop. There we go. But let's continue.
That because there are so many great creators out there that are struggling the same way, if not worse, than me. In fact, I should be extremely grateful and thankful for all of the attention my channel has gotten over the past few years. But at this moment, I feel like it's come to a head. I used to cover just video games. I transitioned into covering some drama revolving around the gaming industry, and now I've kind of gone back into talking just about video games, and it's been confusing for a lot of viewers. Clearly.
What was he talking about? Does anyone know what he was talking about before jumping back into video games? Was this the infamous brother's hair was a bit darker, wasn't it? Hey, I can't say much on that. Like, my hair is a little lighter and I have some gray in my beard, so we won't be talking about his hairline or any of those things.
Been to make sure I make the channel what I want it to be, and how I'm feeling on whatever day it is. That's what I want to make a video on, and take it or
oh, he had drama with people. I'm so interested in that.
leave it. Like, you don't have to watch it, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I feel like people get mad at me because I make something that's not for them, and they're wondering.
The date on this, let's see, 4 years ago. So this was a long while ago. I don't know the exact date. Oh, the exact date, July 7th, 2020. So, I mean, this is well before he became popular for the anti-woke.
Wondering why I made that. It's like, not everything I do has to be watched by every single viewer, by single subscriber. That's not what I don't care. I don't care. I make stuff because I have a passion behind it. I want to talk about video games. I want to talk about, like my previous video, Breath of the Wild 2, and how it got leaked to potentially being released this year, which was crazy to me, and I couldn't wait to talk about that because I truly have a passion behind that. But
Hold on. What was that?
To potentially being...
Oh, this is the NES Punk tipster, like drama tipster and a bunch of Amico drama. I only know one tipster, and it's the drama tipster. Fun fact, I've seen Alyssa talk about Destiny FOMO a couple times, but not in relation to Smash. He must have watched a video saying move your hands a lot in the videos. He does this thing with his hands, and I just don't understand it. It reminds me of God, what's the movie with the race car? I don't know what to do with my hands.
Released this year, which was crazy to me, and I couldn't wait to talk about that because I truly have a passion behind that. But then you look at the other videos I've made that deal with drama and stuff, talking about like the whole Destiny FOMO situation, or tips, or even like Angry Joe, or
Is this drama tipster? I have to know. Because it'd be funny if he got into it with Tipster, the drama YouTuber.
Going back so far as Pro Jared, like it's been a part of my channel for a while now. Some people love it, some people hate it, and again,
nothing wrong with a little drama.
What I've seen when it comes to the attention,
that is hilarious.
People care more about the drama. They truly do. Like, that is
This is true. I love my drama slop. I love to watch it. I've been watching Chud All Day, Dickers, and all of the little slop tubers around that. So Tipster actually had stuff about him today, I think. Really? I'll have to go look at that. We'll look that up, or see if you can find me. If you've got it, link it to me or send it to me.
Facts. I don't care what people say in the comments section about how they hate the drama. They don't want any more drama. They want happiness and butterflies and rainbows in their life. They don't want...
I'll share the Smash part of Toastify video.
That's okay,
Nice.
But the reality is what the numbers are, and under what I've seen on the analytics in YouTube, my drama-based videos do exceedingly well. It's one of the frustrations I've had dealing with the Screen Wave Mafia, as I've dubbed them, group over the past few years.
The Mafia group?
As well. Frustration stemming from having some misunderstandings or disagreements behind the types of videos that get made once in a while by, we'll say, Wood Hawker, with his videos about people sending him stuff, where I've aired multiple times my frustrations with that, why I don't feel like it's okay, why I don't feel like it's right, why it sends a bad message to the entire gaming community. And he continues to make those videos. Whatever, it's his right to do, but ultimately it ends up taking advantage of those that just don't know any better, the less educated you...
Okay, I gotta listen to this. My wife just saved me, brought in drinks. Luckily, it's only 89 degrees here in the garage. El Capo out to get him. El Chapo out to get him. Al Capone. I'm sorry, I read that completely wrong.
I don't feel like it's right. Why it sends a bad message to the entire gaming community.
Why drama does? Is that what he says? Let's go a little further back.
Frustration stemming from having some misunderstandings or disagreements behind the types of videos that get made once in a while by, we'll say, Wood Hawker, with his videos about people sending him stuff, where I've aired multiple times my frustrations with that, why I don't feel like it's okay, why I don't feel like it's right, why it sends a bad message to the entire gaming community, and he continues to make those videos. Whatever, it's his right to do, but ultimately,
I don't have a
taking advantage of those that just don't know any better, the less educated, you could say, or more likely the young.
So I need context to these types of videos. Is he just talking about drama videos in general, or is he talking about like some kind of let's plays that are, you know, disingenuous? I'm guessing he's talking about drama, even though drama videos do really well for him. So he's having like a the start of his morals getting pushed by making money.
Younger audience, the kids out there that just want to get noticed by their idol of Wood Hawker, I don't feel like that is the right thing to do in this world of what even is right anymore. There's so many confusing things to say about that. Not going to go into details, but my frustration stems from I make videos talking about stuff like that, and they take off. They do really well, like exceedingly well. I'm talking 10,000, 15,000, 25,000 views.
Oh man, that money.
Yesterday, talking about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, and it gets 250 views. Now, as
Simon, we're seeing the beginning of Smash JT's fall from grace, where he decided this is like the first cracks, I think, in his moral compass, talking about his videos you know, his videos of drama doing really well, and he just has to, you know, he's conflicted. Also, Simon, I needed that video that you commented on me, your little Smash thing. I was having trouble finding it, or maybe I misunderstood you completely.
content creator, what are you supposed to think? People say, do what you love to do. Just follow your dream, follow your passion, be what you want, make your channel your own, and have fun with it. That's what I'm doing. That's what I love to do. Sometimes I do love to talk about the drama. I'm not doing it.
I don't remember exactly what you were saying.
I do want to talk about
When I was talking about 8-Bit Eric.
why I disagree with something, why I feel like it's not right, why I want to speak up and have my voice heard about it, regardless of if people care about what I have to say or not. They tune into those videos over me talking about video games for the vast majority of cases. My frustration comes in when I talk about drama and talk about things that people want to watch, and they come.
Hold on, maybe I'm thinking. Just forget what I said. We won't talk about it.
I'm a horrible human being. I'm beating up on their idol, and whatever they want to say to defend.
He doesn't care about that now. He is all about that now.
Whoever they want to defend. But the point
Hold
is,
on here.
they come and watch those videos and they care about what I have to say about them. Whereas talking about Legend of Zelda and other video games like the Pokemon Snap, nobody cared. Nobody, like literally both of those videos just fell flat on their faces and went nowhere. My frustration being,
So this is the difference. Like he wants to make a career out of this, and at that point, when you're wanting to make a career out of it, you have to stop caring about what you want to make, and you have to start compromising for what makes the content. Like you should still, in my opinion, make what you want to make, right? Like I will admit wholeheartedly that I am pretty much a drama channel. I think that's pretty easy to see with what I do, and I'll admit that's what I like to talk about. Yes, I love gaming and I like to talk about gaming, but I don't like the idea of being just another gaming news channel. I personally, you should still have a bit of a spine. Yeah, I agree. You should still have a bit of a spine. I like talking about the characters around gaming, like Smash JT, the anti-woke stuff. I have more of a passion towards that because of how wrong I think they are and how easy it is to just prove them wrong. But he wants to make a job out of this. The content he likes making is not selling, but the drama content is. So I mean, I'm with him there on that. You know, I get that idea. Right now, for me, this is a hobby. I can't say that my mind won't be pulled in a direction if it started becoming about money. I mean, same here in some extent, but that's not what I want to make my career around. Well, agreed. You have to decide what you want to make your career around. Like, there's some people. RNG Carl is an example. Like, his videos that he makes, he doesn't want them to be about drama, even though I loaded that onto his channel because I can't help talking about it. So he talks about gaming and stuff like that, and then he does the drama and stuff like that on X. You can separate things like that if you want to, but if you start making that content creation and that's what's selling, you have to decide if you enjoy that enough to want to do it, right?
I would love to talk about games all the time if those videos did exceedingly well. They don't. Like, RGT85, great channel, someone I look up to personally, makes...
Sounds like hell, to be honest. It can be in some cases. Like, I've seen cases where YouTubers have just quit out of nowhere, and it's because they made enough money to, you know, dip out of it because they hated making the content they wanted to make. I think if you want to make it as a content creator, you need something that people want to watch. You yourself have to be entertaining, and what was I going to say? You yourself had to be entertaining, and it requires a little bit of luck to actually get very popular. Oh, look at that. I'll take that. I like bases that you let die. Thank you. I'll take one more load of those parts and head back to base before the storm kills me. But, so here he's been making the content he wants to make. It's not popular for whatever reason. He may not be entertaining enough. People might be off-putted by the way he moves his hands. And he's found that people enjoy drama. Some people will always kind of flock to drama. And now he's trying to convince his audience that this is a good idea, is what it feels like.
Videos talking about eShop sales. I don't have a problem with that. People say I've had a problem with those videos. I don't. I truly don't. More power to him. If I could make an eShop video talking about the games that I love, what's on sale, and why I recommend it, and those videos would get hundreds of thousands of views, you bet your ass I'd be making those videos.
Well, and here's the thing with those type of videos, like one of the reasons I didn't want to be a news video isn't because I don't want to make those kind of videos. I don't know that I have the patience to look through every single piece of gaming news and bring the content, but also it's a very saturated market, right? There's hundreds of YouTube channels talking about the same YouTube news, and it's been saturated for years. Why would you do that? Let's see. That's the thing, though, using YouTube and any online platform to make money, get out and actually work on something they do enjoy doesn't always work out and can backfire. Yeah, absolutely. You can get stuck in a loop of content that you don't enjoy, but now it pays the bills, so you have to keep doing it. You don't have to entertain. Look at our boy Indy. The dude is like ChatGPT. Okay, so yes, but a lot of those, like when you get into that's getting into the kind of rage bait, culture war, political topics. Those ones get popular for a whole different set of reasons, and a lot of times outside of the big names that have made a living off of it, they burn out pretty quickly. The shit you post online follows you everywhere. Yeah, agreed. It's online forever. We've been saying that for generations now. It feels like money glitches, etc. True.
But they don't. They fall on their...
Well, you can get the YouTube meta, like you've got the Twitch meta with the OnlyFans chicks, which I think Tectone is taking advantage of. Get yourself banned on Twitch for a day, and then you get more popular.
Faces. Why? I don't know. Like, maybe it's because the YouTube algorithm is jaded against smaller channels.
God, I hate this. So I hate this. thing, and we might end up watching a video because all the anti-wokers say that YouTube is killing content and all this other stuff, and I think that's a load of bullshit. The only thing that the algorithm really cares about is what are people watching. It looks at the users and says, hey, what do people watch? Sure, there's probably cases of some type of content, like, you know, extremely racist content getting taken down, but it's because people are tired of watching them. Yeah, that's exactly it. People are no longer watching them, so they're getting less views. It's not that hard to understand.
Because my audience has grown to know me as a person, and they expect a certain type of content from me, and when I divert from that, they get confused. Maybe it's
Well, it's not so much confused. They came to you for this type of content, so that's what they want, and you're now changing your content, or you're prioritizing, which, hey, sometimes you have to do. Sometimes you have to leave the old audience behind. This is advice for Smash JT in the future as much for Smash JT in the past. And I'm not, like, by any means a popular YouTuber, so I'm not trying to say that I know the biz, but, you know, if you have to move on to new content, I don't think you're going to convince anybody to stay if they don't like what you're currently doing. You know what I mean?
Combination of a whole bunch of different things. My point being, I can't just talk.
For real, most of my time is spent looking for a real job right now versus going all in on YouTube. Yeah, I've got a real job. I've got a retirement coming in. Starting this for me was no intention of making money on it. I just wanted to get on here and talk about the people I wanted to talk about while I play games, or do something in the fact where I could play games and chat with people like you guys online. So I think to me that's a better way to go into it than saying I'm going to go all in on YouTube. Maybe one day we'll pull up this streamer that I've seen who's trying to make it as a Overwatch as a pro Overwatch player, which is already like a dying esports market, and then he also can't get out of platinum, so all my attention is writing my shit and dealing with bullshit on my 9 to 5. Yeah, I think that's a good way to go into it, and you shouldn't take, like, if you start to get popular, you shouldn't take that leap immediately. You need to be very conservative with your idea. Like, I wouldn't, if I got monetized tomorrow and I started making a couple grand or a couple hundred or anything like that, I still wouldn't go all in, right? Pro Skull and Bones player. Also hope your job search works out for you. Yeah, same, McDizzle. I'm sorry the other one didn't work out.
About generic video game stuff that I have a passion about, because it doesn't get the views. And when I do talk about drama-centered stuff, it gets the attention, but it also pisses off these bigger channels when they hear me say anything negative about them.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Does anyone want to talk about what we did a couple days ago?
Catch 22. I can't win for losing no matter what I try to do. It's either the videos don't do well or they do exceedingly well, but then the community hates me for talking about something that I have a passion about. So at this point, I'm still going to keep doing what I do. Nothing is changing because I do truly love making these videos, regardless of if it's video game related or drama-based circulating around the video game industry. Either way, if there's something that comes up that I want to talk about, I'm going to turn the lights on, flip the camera on, record it, edit it, publish it, promote it the best I can, and just keep doing that because I truly do enjoy doing this. RGT made a video talking about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 along with other channels. Nintendo Prime made one as well. Other bigger channels made videos. A lot of people talking about Breath of the Wild 2 yesterday. I was one of the first ones, and my video out of the gate was pretty bad. Like, it didn't get many views. I think I had like 35, 40 views in the first hour. For a channel of my size with 13,000 subscribers, give or take a couple hundred, it's been...
Damn, he had 13,000 at this time? That's not bad.
hovering around that for a while. But the problem is, I'm not getting the views from my subscriber base to sustain these videos, to make them go anywhere in the algorithm. And then a channel like Sean Long, RGT85, comes out and makes that Breath of the Wild video, and it explodes. I mean, he's got like 20,000 views on it in the first couple hours. And he's got a channel of over 300,000.
This just sounds like jealousy. Don't talk about how, you know, another content creator is getting views even though you put out your video first. Come on, Smash. He just said the dude has like 300,000 views. Yeah, he's going to get instant coverage. He's built his audience. You have to work on building that same audience in your circle, right?
1,000 subscribers.
People in his circle have no reason to come and watch you when they already watch him for that content, right? I think worst case scenario, maybe minimum wage. Oh, you're still talking with McDizzle. Cool. Like it's one thing that I said when I started doing this is I don't want to, like me and Vincent have talked about it, I don't want to be an orbiter for somebody, right? Like I look at the anti-woke guys and they're all sharing the same like audiences and things like that. I just don't want to do that. If I'm going to actually get popular at this, then I would want to grow my own audience and then branch out and talk with creators, right? I don't want them to come to me because of that. It's hard to make content that requires you to be entertaining when you have Smash's negative charisma. That's fair. That's fair. It's not for everyone. It is definitely not for everyone. But then again, I don't think I'm that entertaining either. So take with that what you will. I'm just hoping I can be. But I think it's way better to build your own. And I mean, he shouldn't shake his head too much at the audience he has. He has, what, 13,000 people at this time? Most never get that high, you know? Ever. So...
subscribers, so it makes sense obviously to get more views on these. But the issue comes in when I posted this on Twitter the other day. I'm getting less than a 2% view of my sub base, we'll say, somewhere around that. Whereas someone like RGT85 or Nintendo are getting between 5 and 8% viewership base from their install subscribers.
I think he's getting way too content cucked on this one. Like, I get it, bud. It's not the percentages you want to reach. Maybe look at that. Like, obviously you're saying, hey, look, the content's not doing well, the drama's doing well. Be real about it and be like, I enjoy doing it, so you may see more of this. I still want to cover topics and go from there. I don't know, it feels like he's trying to beg his audience to stay because he's not doing well, or begging them to watch the videos that people don't find as entertaining. Here's a way to grow. Chop up this live stream, do a quick edit, and make it a video. That's the Asman style. I actually have started doing that. Like, parts of my content I find entertaining, like I'm going to clip up. I just downloaded last stream, and I'm going to cut up the upper echelon one because I thought that might be entertaining for some people to see who don't want to go through my 3-hour VOD. I think it's a good style. Well, his has become like just a straight out content farm of basic takes and terrible political takes. But yeah, it's a style that works.
Subscribers. And that's why the algorithm is taking it and promoting it and putting it above mine. And it's fine. I'm not saying you have to watch my videos, you have to share and tell people about my videos. It's just frustrating to me as a channel that cares so much about this stuff to see it die on the table. When I put
slop must flow.
4.5 solid hours of research, filming, editing, publishing, and promoting it, and it just died. And it's like, at that point, I was very frustrated. So,
hey, that's YouTube, baby. I mean, at this point too, if you're really wanting to do this kind of content, maybe go look at what other creators are doing and find things that mesh. Like, I think you shouldn't like directly copy people, but there's a reason that some of these people are popular, right? really wish it didn't have to flow. Oh, come on, Simon. Sometimes the content is fun. Listen, let me say this. While a lot of y'all can get very visceral and I can get very visceral online, I don't really care or want necessarily the anti-woke slop to disappear, because yeah, it's content that can flow. Do I want them to not be taken as seriously? Absolutely. Just because, and I think that's happening anyway, just because, you know, their takes are bad, and I want people to see what their takes are bad. But if I can continue, you know, ripping on them for their bad takes and do well with it, yeah, I don't mind. I like a little slop.
I'm trying to figure out what I can do to motivate people to watch my videos. And it's not easy to say. It's gonna probably come across the wrong way. I'm trying my best to not have that happen. But ultimately what I've decided is, if my videos do not get over 1,000 views in the first 48 hours, which is, I think, a good...
I'm a writer, damn it. My standards are stupidly high.
Doing well or not. 48 hours is plenty of time for something that...
Well, Simon, mine standards are super low. And you know what? You're in here watching me.
It's pretty hot off the press news base to know if that video is going anywhere or not. I will put it in unlisted mode, and it won't show up on my channel anymore.
That seems like a bad idea. Like, I get it, the video didn't do well, but sometimes what'll happen with videos is you can have a video from, you know, months down the road suddenly go viral for whatever reason. I just don't think deleting the videos is really going to be beneficial. Maybe learn from that video versus other videos that were successful, you know, around your same, look at other content creators in your same avenue and also your same subscriber base, and see if it's matching up, right? They may not give you their percentage, but you can look at the views and subscribers and things like that. Takes all sorts to make the world go round, after all. That's right. I am here to be the entertaining slop that you can watch in the closet, not telling any of your friends about the things we talk about.
So that way, people who subscribe to me and want to hear the latest news will know that if they don't watch it in the first 48 hours, it won't be there for them. So maybe that might motivate people to want to click and support this channel, to want to make these videos get to 1,000 views initially, and that way we can just leave it as it is and not change anything about it. I will be removing all of these videos.
Jesus.
48 hours if they don't get 1,000 views on them. Also, for my Patreons, I will, anytime I remove a video from my homepage, I will post it in Patreon, because you guys have supported me through thick and thin, and it's the least I can do to make it easy on you. If you miss...
So why not just say that? Why not say, like, videos that aren't doing, or why not just do, like, these videos you don't think... I don't know. You're paywalling the content for your subscribers. It's like trying to pull. Did you just call me gay with that closet comment? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know much about you, Simon. I can't decide if you're gay. I don't even know if you're a guy, really. You could be like most VTubers and be some really old guy pretending to be a child with a voice changer.
My videos, they'll be there. They'll be right at the front page. You don't have to search for them. They'll all be on Patreon for any videos I end up taking down. This is going to be kind of a social experiment. I hate that terminology, but it's all I can come up with right now with dealing with the frustrations I've had with all of this.
Poor buddy.
Maybe it fails. Maybe it falls flat on its face and everybody hates me for it, which I'm getting used to. The mob mentality on the internet and YouTube. Everyone can't wait to attack, especially a small...
I hate the idea of mob mentality. Like, I get it, everyone goes and there are groups of people that will get together and things like that, but a bunch of people saying the same critique of you. I mean, we talked about this with upper echelon. Like, it's each individual person is giving you a critique. doesn't mean that it's like a hate mob out to get you. Well, I guess it means it's a mob, but it's not like a hate mob. It's just a bunch of people giving you the same critique with a few assholes in there threatening your life and stuff like that.
Smaller channel that's trying everything they can to get ahead, to get some sort of notoriety and attention on a landscape that is completely overcrowded with people doing the same thing over and over and over again. And people say, that's your problem, you're a small channel, you're doing the same thing other people doing. I like doing this stuff. So if you like what I do, if you like watching it, please help support me. And if you don't, that's okay too. Just know it's not gonna be there for you to view on the homepage after 48 hours if it doesn't get past 1,000 views. That's where I'm gonna...
This also feels like he's kind of threatening his audience, like, you need to make the content you want work. Well, obviously, the majority of your viewers have spoken and said that the content they want to see is the drama. And yes, there's going to be vocal people who... let me drink my pee here. Vocal people who dislike the content you're making, but that's just what it is. Hey, these guys have spoken. I like making this drama content too. I'm going to focus on this and still do some videos, right? Or even say like, hey, for those Patreon guys who've supported me, I will do some of these other videos and post them to Patreon, or, you know, make them available on Patreon. I keep going in here with like 3 rounds.
I'm gonna leave this video and we'll just see what happens moving forward, and if this works out or not, I don't know, but I want to give it a shot. I feel like it might motivate people to click on the notification before clicking on other people's videos if they know it's not going to be there in the future. It might light a little bit of a fire under their butt to make sure they can...
FOMO. Like, FOMO works if people really want it, right? It's not going to work with a small channel. Like, I have 36 viewers. I am a nobody. If I just suddenly come out and say, you know what, you guys aren't supporting me enough. I'm going to paywall this shit. Is that going to get more people to come? No, probably not.
Watch these videos and not have to search for them in other locations just to find them and watch what I have to say about something. Because
I'm not doing well. No. Ooh, run.
for many years, I've played video games since I was in diapers. I know a lot about these video games. I know video game companies. I am an insider just as much.
Oh no, did he he's an insider. Did he get properly verified?
Any of these other YouTubers that claim to be. But for some reason, people just like to watch the bigger channels because that's what's trendy, I guess. I don't know. Frustration comes in.
Again, it's because they've built their audience. Like, you're still, you know, being a 13,000 YouTuber is great, but it's not large by any means. You're still trying to build that audience that wants to just come and watch you, you know?
And not just for me, like I said, there are plenty of other smaller channels out there that don't get the notoriety, don't get the attention. But this is my channel. This is about me. This is what the stand I'm taking is, and we'll see where it goes from here. Thank you again for all your support, and especially...
So this just like screams to me like he just wants to be famous, right? He needs this to work. So he needs you to do the right thing and watch him. Good little video to start out the day. This is going to be the next one. Maybe I need to bring up the Twitter stuff first to get context for what's going on here. If you aren't chronically online, we'll say, on X and these other ones, you might have missed my little fadangle that happened where... My fadangle, what does that even mean? My little spat with Smash JT. Smash JT came out with a tweet that was... Where is it here? God, he tweets so much about nothing. It's like all about this encouraging harassment against me. Oh, this was 12 hours ago. Okay, we're gonna watch that too. Will of the Fans. Did he delete it? No, I don't think he did. Never. Oh, here it is. It's a little farther down. It's a little farther down. All right. Boom. We'll start with this. Doot, 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 doot. Let's go to reading. Boom. So Smash JT posted here out of nowhere. Alyssa Mercante is currently suing me for harassment while playing a video game with someone who constantly harasses me, and encouraging their followers to contact the cancer hospital where my wife works as a nurse. She's an awful person. Awful people stick together. So, I heard Airbag is playing Peak with me right now. She's not even talking about him in this instance. One thing that I hear all the time is I never say anything until she says something, or she always attacks first, or she attacked first, and all this other stuff. But this is clearly just her talking about her stream and being on with Airbagged, right? And you can take it or leave it on how you think about Airbagged. I don't like this stuff right here, where he, if you want to send videos of Jeff stalking Alyssa, you can email and putting the wife's information down. I think this is fucking completely unhinged. I'll never think otherwise, right? But this is, just her doing her stream, and you just happen to bring up this guy. So, this is individual also threatened to see me at a con. You want to keep making shit up? I'll see you at a con. Yeah, you can take that as a death threat. So then I come in, enter in Wargaming Dad. And I said, is that why you spread her docs? Because someone else brought up your wife? Huh? You spread her docs. It's still linked in your article, and brought it up in your YouTube video. Was it revenge for what Airbag did? Huh? And then, he just kind of like, the problem with you lefties, I never got the answer for the evidence. So he kind of acted like this was no big deal. There was another comment that someone made where he goes, I don't know what they're talking about. Spoiler alert, tough guy never went to the con. So anyways, I dropped my info. Now the original tweet that I made is gone. It's no longer there. Excuse me. It was I deleted it because I had made a mistake. I genuinely didn't think about it when I leaked the article, that the article was still a link to her docs. Smash is more lefty than me. Oh, 100%. He is a full-on lefty. As lefty as they come, you can't deny it. So where is my tweet? God, Wargaming Dad tweets too fucking much. Let's see here, all the Airbag stuff. So anyway, I had tweeted out something like this. Boom, Smash JT, you talk about others doxing and spreading his personal info, or Smash JT talks about other people doxing and spreading his information, while he himself has an article on and YouTube video. While in an article and YouTube video has spread around links to Alyssa's docs. Smash JT has a history of spreading personal information. He has done it to others like McDizzle and even Ubisoft dev who was not involved other than his name being used. Screenshot here. Yeah, I have videos on actual leftists. I'm sure you do, Vincent. So this is part of his article, in a move that has seemingly the entire gaming industry shaking their collective heads. Alyssa Mercante has officially sent a cease and desist letter in an attempt to curb the activities of Kiwi Farms. How deep does this go? I assure you, you cannot prepare yourself enough. So my guess, having not looked too deep into this, but I'm pretty sure she sent the cease and desist because of her docs information. I don't know if she sent it because of the cease and desist she got. So anyway, there's 2 articles here. One of them is to a Kiwi Farms thread talking about the cease and desist. The other one is linked to her her thread, all about her, history and all these other stuff like that. And in the thread is 100% her docs information. So she's been doxxed. Smash, in all his infinite wisdom, has spread her docs to his wider audience and keeps it up to this day. I reached out to Smash and said, hey man, I've just shown how you are spreading her docs. Would you, be the guy to take just that link? I'm not even talking about the cease and desist link, just that one link off of that article, so you're not perpetuating this dox that you tend to care so much about. And after I sent this image, Smash went radio silent on me, and nothing else in any of the chats, nothing else like that. I tried to goad him a few times to try and say, hey, do you want to talk about this? I'm a 36 subscriber YouTuber. I understand I'm a shitter, so it's not like he has to come down and talk to me. But if you got someone who is showing serious evidence of you being the kind of person to spread a dox, and you don't think you're that person, maybe you should say something about it. Maybe we'll watch that video and see if he brings me up. Probably not. I'm sure I'll get ignored. So there was that. And then, I meant to change the name of the stream. Hold on. We're going to do this real quick, because I got a good name for it. And I'm probably starving to death in the wilderness right now, but it'll be all right. Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh, you're talking about this. Oh, I see. Why didn't he show this one? I know why he didn't show this one. Okay, here we go. This isn't airbagged. This isn't even airbagged. This is fucking the salmon guy who's been doing that. So he's just flat out, I wish I would have had this yesterday. Oh, I could have rubbed that in their face too. So you should contact the cancer hospital where Smash JT's wife works as a nurse. I only know that Smash JT's wife works at a cancer hospital as a nurse because Smash JT told me and countless others that his wife works as a cancer hospital as a nurse. Okay, yeah, sure. So is this even, did I just, no, that one's airbagged right here. That one's airbagged. I don't believe salmon is airbagged. I think, hasn't Airbag come out and say that isn't him? Of course they would condone it. I don't condone reaching out to her place of business. She's not on here harassing people. She's just married to someone who does. I'd leave her out. So Alyssa made a comment on it, right? I don't know what else she's supposed to do to convince you that she is. Yes, maybe this is all bullshit. I'm sure the anti-workers will say this is bullshit. But clearly, this is not airbag. This is salmon. And Alyssa isn't condoning this kind of behavior. And you know what to me makes it lead credence that she doesn't condone this behavior? While she reached out to Smash's wife, I think that's unhinged behavior. She didn't dox his wife's information. That came out through other sources. Did she give that information? That is probably correct. I don't know anymore with this crap. Yeah, I mean, I'm becoming a little bit of an A-logger. I've watched way too many Smash videos on Alyssa. Like, it's crazy. Well, I guess this is after the fact, so Airbag did make that comment a while back. So I'll give him that. And then this guy came in, Salmon, and did his thing, and Alyssa's basically saying, don't do the same thing. If anything, this stuff will probably cause more harassment to come her way anyway. Oh, spoilers. So that happened, and then our buddy 8-Bit Eric jumps into the mix over several times. What we're probably going to do is watch the video. Me and him went back and forth for a while on different situations in there, and we kind of got into a spit and match. And then I guess Alyssa reached out to him to get him to take down a tweet that was kind of helping spread the docs. And then she asked for one more where he was saying that the docs doesn't exist anymore, which is a provable lie. And he freaked out and said, I can't believe I showed you empathy. And that's where this video comes from. You're saying it wrong, War. It's 2-Bit Eric. I honestly haven't watched much of his coverage or content, but we're going to get a taste of him here. And he doesn't... The only time I ever see Eric is in the context of white knighting for Smash. Like, he is Smash's #1 defender in all of these cases. So here we go. I tried being nice to Alyssa Mercante. Big mistake. This sounds exactly like a video that I've heard Smash make, right? It's almost exactly like a video that Smash made.
You ever try to show empathy to somebody just a little bit, only to have it blow up in your face like you handed a toddler a grenade? Well, that was me this week with Alyssa Mercante, everybody's favorite former Kotaku senior editor. And let me just say, never again. If you're following the Smash JT lawsuit that she filed and still think that she's the calm, rational party, buckle up, because you need to hear this.
I don't believe that 8-Bit or 2-Bit Eric has even read the Alyssa Mercante case. And if he has read it, I don't believe he actually understands it. While I do think it's pushing farther than what's actually going to be found, if anything's found, like my impression as a non-legal guy is that this would more than likely fall under what is it called? God damn, I hate words. Negligence, gross negligence. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, but just because he's never directly called for her to be harassed, at least nothing that I've seen that's direct. There have been some pretty close things where he has basically said things that are kind of unhinged, like we must pull every lever. No, 2-Bit, but I think she might be the least insane of the two. Yeah, I mean, that's very possible with some of the things that I've seen in just the lawsuit itself. But yeah, I mean, obviously this guy hasn't read it or understand it. I would like to talk to him about it, but he won't talk to me.
So here's what happened. I made a response to a tweet that somebody was posting saying that Smash JT...
Oh, say my name! Say my name!
He doxed Alyssa Mercante through her Kiwi Farms page, and I said that page didn't appear to have her dox anymore. Simple correction, no malice. But then out of nowhere, like clockwork, she unblocks me again just to
hold on, let's go back and read that message. She's got a bit of the woke brainoid, but Smash, what excuse does he have for his insanity? It's woke brainoid, brain rot that he's got. So let's go back to that message real quick. Oh, shoot. What am I doing? There it is. Let's go back and read this message. You at least heard it. There we go. Oh, yeah, I remember this one. See, it's not... He only read this part. Small correction, right? Long before Smash's article, you keep linking and referencing. And again, the docs wasn't posted or originated from Smash. I never said the docs was originated from Smash. I said Smash spread the docs through her Kiwi Farms page. Now, if I can ever find the message of Smash knowing that her docs was out there, then I'll post that too. But I was having trouble finding it. There's Will of the Fans sent it to Smash with the information crossed out, so I know that. Then we keep going. Oh, let me get you on the read mode. Read a little bit here. Linking to a thread that no longer contains private information isn't remotely on the same level as what Merc or Airbagged have done. They directly posted someone's family's home and workplace. Guess what's in this thread? Guess what's a lie? The fact that the docs information is gone. And here's my thing. At least he didn't get called a Kotaku type for these losers. I got called a lot of things, but not Kotaku type. So let's go over this a little bit. It doesn't matter. Even if there had been no more docs information on there, right? Even if I wasn't right, completely and utterly right, the fact that he linked it in the past when it probably had that docs information on there is still the fucking problem, right? It's still the issue. He, knowing her docs was on there, linked the video linked it in a video spreading her docs. She, from my understanding, reached out to him about it, and he told her to fuck off. Well, that may be wrong. Don't hold me to that. I want to say that I saw it, but don't hold me to that. I may be completely off base in my rage against the anti-woke. But go off, King. I proved it. I told him this is wrong, and then he corrected himself. Let's see if he brings that up.
No malice. But then out of nowhere, like clockwork, she unblocks me again just to DM me. And in these DMs, she asked me to take the tweet down, and I did.
Okay, here we go. This is a lie. I am not trying to draw tons of attention to it, as it still has the docs of my parents and others on there. Literally right now. Please do not bring more attention to that. Delete that tweet. Now, Alyssa reached out to me too, because yes, I had made a mistake there, and I deleted the tweet. She was okay with the screenshot, so I remade a post, only putting on the screenshot. She was a little bit nicer than me. But let's see what Eric says. Because this, what this was for me when she messaged me? Oh yeah, sure thing, my bad, sorry about that. And that was kind of it. We talked further about some of the other things going on and things like that, but other than that, nothing. Which, I get it, it's going to be different with him talking to her. She doesn't like him, he doesn't like her, so there's a difference in interests and a little bit of tension there. But all in all, this isn't unhinged, right? This is just straightforward. Please delete that. A little bit more harshly, I guess, than he wants. If I got something wrong, it wasn't on purpose. It doesn't mean I lied. Okay. She did say you were a liar, but you just spit it out your ass, right? I saw a note about a third-party removal and based my comment off that. I would like to see this note that he saw, because I don't know where this would have come from. I don't support doxing at all. I'll delete the tweet because you asked politely and it involves your parents. That doesn't mean I admit to doing anything wrong. Like, what the fuck is this statement? You did do something wrong. You spread the false information that the docs wasn't there, and you were wrong about it. So yes, there was something wrong fucking done in this situation. Just admit to it. Why do you have to say I didn't do anything wrong? It's like you don't want to give an ounce to her because she's your mortal enemy, as some of these people would fucking say, as he would say. I hope you also ask, oh, hey, look, my name made it. Wargaming Dad and McDizzle. I don't know why they did McDizzle, because I guess he retweeted it. Also brought attention to it, because once I deleted mine, it would have deleted it for McDizzle anyway. So yeah, that's what we got so far. His comment back, I can see why this might have set her off for what we're seeing coming. I don't agree with what she said. She even told me, yeah, I was a little too much, too extra on it. So let's see what he says further.
Not because I agreed with her. Let's get that clear. Not because I was scared. Let's get that double clear. I took it.
Why does he have to say that? What would you be scared of, bud? It's just a dude or a chick asking you to take down a video. So why do you have to do this posturing? It's so gay. It's so gay, and it makes you sound weak. You don't have to admit I'm not scared. Are you scared? I'm not scared. Come on, bud. Just say, yeah, I'll take it down. I'm sorry I got the information wrong, and move on.
Down because she asked politely, and it involved her parents. And I thought, okay,
Nope.
Let me be a decent human being. Let me show a little empathy here. Big mistake. Here's the DM that
So you didn't show empathy there. Empathy is saying, hey, I'm sorry that this happened. I'm sorry I got this wrong. That's also taking accountability. And then just deleting the tweet. But no, you had to put in all these, everyone has to put in these extra little things, right? Extra little stuff like, I'm not admitting that I'm wrong. This guy did it too. Are you going to tell him to take it down? Like it's just yeah, my bad. Sorry about that. You can do this to your enemies which is also absolutely brain dead to call people 8-bit soy. Well put. It's brain dead to call these people on the internet your enemies. No, none of these people are my enemy. These are just people I talk about online. Am I friends with any of them? No, of course not. They're not going to want to be friends with me. Well, I say that. I think I've gotten at least into the hearts of a few people, or at least into the minds of a few people. At least Dash. I don't know if, which I don't really care necessarily, if nobody has seen my coverage or would like it. I thought about posting that as a little clip, just because, I did say it. I think it would be interesting for people to see, and I do believe in a lot of the stuff I said to him. But this I have to say these other things so I don't look like a weak pussy. Well, I hate to tell you, doing it makes you look like a pussy.
she sent me last night saying this is a lie, and it linked to my tweet, which is now deleted. She said that she is trying not to draw a ton of attention to it, as it still has the docs of her parents and others on there literally right now. Please do not bring more attention to that. Delete the tweet. And I was like, you know what? I guess it was late night. I felt a little bit of empathy. I felt sad for her. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go.
This is just taking accountability for your wrong actions too, right? If I get something wrong, if anyone gets something wrong, the first thing, and this is me repeating myself with what, upper echelon said about just, they're not going to get what they want. And this feels the same energy right here. Admit you're wrong and move on. It's not, take your L's and carry them. It shows people that you're willing to take those L's and you're willing to correct yourself. If anything, it makes you look stronger. Yeah, you're going to have some people who are going to do this gay little, he was wrong. Yeah, sure. But it's better for me to correct the record and be happy with myself than to just be wrong because someone's, I want to get one up on someone. It just makes you look dumber.
Go ahead and just take it down. Maybe just
2-Bit got bullied by Keemstar on LOLCal Live, or that's the way it seems from one of 2-Bit's own video titles. Send me that video and we will watch. Why would you? Oh God, I hate LOLCal Live. It's one of the worst things to ever come up. It was interesting when Boogie was lying about his cancer. Anything else after that has just been endlessly boring. now back to 8-Bit or 2-Bit.
in this instance, we could just have a middle ground. I'll delete it. She asked nicely. We move off, right? But this is where I make the mistake of thinking that somebody like her could think logically. Somebody like her could act like an adult. So check my response out. which I think was pretty professional on my behalf, and I didn't even have to give her that. So my response down here says, if I got something wrong, it wasn't on purpose. It doesn't mean I lied. I saw a note about a third party.
Yeah, this is childish. It doesn't mean I lied. It doesn't mean I lied. I didn't lie. I went with the information I had. Sure. Yeah, you went with the information that you say you had. I would like to see this little information you had. And leave it at that. I'm sorry I spread the wrong information. I'll delete the tweet. But as you see, it's much longer than that.
Removal and based my comment on that. I don't support doxing at all. I'll delete the tweet because you asked politely and it involves your...
He says he doesn't support doxing, but he definitely supports the spreading of someone's dox, because the guy he was guarding against all of this, the guy that he was fighting for in the trenches, did spread her dox.
Your parents. That doesn't mean I admit to doing anything wrong. I hope you also asked the Wargaming guy and McDizzle, who also brought attention to it. Which, funny enough, both of those individuals actually made tweets directing attention and traffic towards that Kiwi Farms page. I mean, how does that work out? Oh, it's because I'm not going against Smash. This is about managing...
All right, bud. Yeah, I did. I have owned up to that fact, and I even put out a retraction statement. He has this is the worst manager I've ever had at McDonald's energy. True. Just put the fries in the bag, bro. Yes, I did make a mistake by posting the link. Sure. But should I not have called out Smash for this behavior? Alyssa flat out told me that the image was okay because it shows what's going on there and gets the point across. So that's what I should have done. In the future, I will look closer at that. I take my L. I wear it on my chest.
Optics with her, guys. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, he's going into the optics argument.
So I said, that said, going forward...
Hold on.
Post is my choice, respect...
Yeah, McDizzle got brought into this. Mostly it was me adding him because I mentioned him in the getting his name spread around, because it's very obvious that Smash does not care about spreading around people's information. Which, talking about that, we'll get back to you in a minute, bud. Talking about that. Let's pull this off again. Boom, boom, boom. In my secondary statement that I added. Boom, boom, boom. No, that's not what I need. This is what I need. There's this video. All right, let's bring it back up. We have this video right here.
The full name, you
of
are
this clip.
subtly implying that you are encouraging your audience to proactively dox a person. It's not even subtle, it's right out in the open. And you know, she can be like, oh, I'm not doxing him, I'm not doing anything. That's his name. People have written about him before. He's shared articles with his full name in it. It's like, yes, but when you, a known person that does not like me, starts doing it, it has a different implication. But by giving the full name...
Did you hear that? By you, a known person who dislikes me, spreading that information, approves them of doxing?
It has a different...
it has a different implication. Basically leading to harassment, further doxing, and things like that. Now, when Smash does it, it's okay. It's okay by all of his friends when Smash does it. Apic Eric has no problem with Smash linking a dox to someone else because, by their words, it's not actually a dox. And they're right, but it is spreading a dox of that person. So let's pop back a little here.
I mean, how does that work out? Oh, it's because I'm not going against Sage. You made McDizzle, who also brought attention and traffic. Enough, both of those individuals actually made tweets directing attention and traffic towards that Kiwi Farms page. I mean, how does that work out? Oh, it's because I'm not going against Smash. This is about managing optics with her, guys. That's exactly what it is.
It's not about okay, you want to hear my honest opinion? I have had conversations with Alyssa Mercante, I do not give a fuck about her optics. I'm pointing out the bad behavior of Smash, which this dumb-looking motherfucker won't even consider. Not once in our entire thing, besides him saying the docs is no longer there and that it's been so long it doesn't matter anymore, bro, has he even admitted that what Smash JT may have been wrong. He's okay with you spreading the docs. It's fine, because it's against, as we'll find out with his words, the enemy.
Is. So I said, that said, going forward, what I choose to post is my choice respectfully, because
This line is completely retarded and doesn't need to be put in there.
I'm not going to have Alyssa Mercante demanding that I delete stuff, that she can control me. She does not have leverage in this. This was a moment.
This comes, like, that very statement comes from a weak man. A weak man that thinks just because she asked me to do something, she has leverage over me. This is optics. I don't want anything that Alyssa Mercante could use against me. And you know what? If me and Alyssa were fighting, or any of these fucking dudes were fighting. In fact, you know what? I'll show you what you do in this situation. Because I did it with him. Let's see here. Stuff that he won't bring up. Hurt feelings. Let's see here. And this is probably not perfect. I'm not saying I am, the best at retracting my statements. But you can take an L and not feel like people have anything over you. I had this situation, I had a situation where these anti-wokers, Will of the Fans, tried to get leverage over me because as a dumb new YouTuber, I made the mistake of not having one of my settings set. And since I was streaming to myself, and maybe one individual who thought my stream was just the gameplay at the time, it was completely no, it couldn't have been, because I was talking about the cowboy guy and his calling out of the anti-woke but not really wanting to get involved with it. He was really just mad, tired of seeing it. And they tried to use that as leverage to say, hey, I should never stream again, blah, 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 blah. And I think it's funny. It's funny that I did it, I think he blocked me after I called him out for his lies. So he blocked me after I added him to come on to the show and talk to me, and he's kept the block up. Like, he's blocked me before and then unblocked me to kind of seem like he's not blocking me, as like a workaround. God, I don't know where I had this tweet. Anyway, once he said the comment that he said, I saw the tweet after he did it. It was a comment that he said, hey, you're spreading this around too, blah, 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 blah. I just talked to Alyssa and was getting ready to take it down, and I gave him the props. He says, you know what, you're right. I shouldn't have linked the actual document. I should have just stuck to the screenshot and went from there, is basically what I said. Easy. Took my L, took it in place, put up my little notice saying, hey, this is what happened. I refused to have a combo with Smash because I was scared. I get that. Not everybody. Okay, talking in person, I was in the wrong there and took the L. Yeah, it's exactly what I did. It's not easy to talk one-to-one on people, especially people you are in conflict with, right? Even when I did my when I did the stream with you and Dash and Nobody, I was very, oh no, I'm in a storm, I'm gonna die. I was actually super nervous going into the beginning because I didn't know how this was going to go. Am I going to say something stupid? Am I going to look like a complete moron? How's this going to go? I know I have my talking points, and in all honesty, I don't think it went all that well. It could have been better, but it knocked that thing out. I'm good with it. Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not trying to say that you need to. I think you need to step up at that point and sometimes go out and do it, right? It went well, to be honest. Yeah, I think it went fair. I think there were some mistakes I made, and I'm always hard on myself. But anyway, here we go.
Empathy, because she brought her family into it, and I bent the knee. Mistakenly, I regret it. I never will.
There it is. I'm going to keep pausing on this. I bent the knee. I gave in to my enemy. She's evil, and I had to bend down on my knees and pray that she didn't use this against me. Like, this is just take the L. It takes the storm out of the other guy's argument.
We'll do it again. She responds in the most classy, most professional way, saying, "Oh, get off your high horse, Eric." I asked because my parents.
So why do you think, anybody in chat, why do you think she said get off your high horse? You think there's a reason for that, or maybe a line in there that you used that might have, I don't know, made it seem like you were disingenuous or anything like that? Maybe that last line where you're just having to still have the last say.
And boyfriend are doxxed. You semi-sentient blob fish. Eat shit. This isn't a game. It's people's fucking lives. I deleted it because you asked politely. I gave you what you wanted. I gave you what you requested. No problems on it. And this is how you respond. And again, you give somebody an inch, they will take a mile, guys. I knew she was gonna do this, by the way.
Well, this is...
Even though a small part of me hoped she wouldn't, I knew she was going to do it.
Well, I mean, when you make a statement like the last one and she's already mad at you, yeah, I can see where you knew that she was going to take the bait.
So I'm going to make content out of it, Toots. You wanted attention? You got it. And then...
That's like the weakest you wanted attention, you got it. This guy is by far the least scary person I've ever heard. You got it, Toots. I'm gonna make content about you.
This part is where it gets even more deranged, guys. She says, also, go F yourself one more time for good measure. You're so desperate for relevance, you'll sell your soul to any bidder, not even the highest. You're all the first people to screech about families, but mine has been doxxed for nearly a year, and your savior, who only became your savior so you could ride him like a remora in an attempt to increase your audience, has been linking to it for months while you pearl clutch over a legal document that we edited his address out after he freaked out and started wrongfully accusing me of doxing him, even though his lawyer never requested we do so. Odd if he was so concerned. I keep quiet because this is very serious, but please know I have endless receipts of his aggressive, defamatory, harassing, and deceptive behavior. You're pathetic, but at least you had the decency.
Dude, for you to get butthurt over this comment is just crazy to me. This is like the weakest. This isn't even that harsh. Come on, man. I've had women tell me worse than this.
To remove an untrue tweet about my effing docs, go to AA. Classy response, right? From somebody that's completely normal and not unhinged. And then on top of that, she had the nerve.
I mean, all women are some form of unhinged. That was like the least unhinged I've seen.
To link to another tweet saying remove this one too. And that's where I put the foot down, guys. That's where I'm taking this stand. I said I knew the second I showed empathy, you tried to weaponize it, which she absolutely did.
She didn't weaponize it. She just asked you to take it down. Weaponizing it would mean going like fucking public with it, right? She didn't go public with this and try and say that you're some kind of evil person. I mean, or no, that you're weak. Look what he did. I got him to bow down. She didn't weaponize it at all. You don't understand what that word fucking means. She wanted you to take. She got pissed off, and then she wanted to take down another tweet that you were wrong about. Which, if you found out you were wrong, whether she messaged you or not, you should want to take down, right? You want your information to be truthful and correct, facts and logic.
Took the post down only because you asked politely and it involved your parents. That was me being decent, not admitting guilt, and not giving you control. This isn't about harm. It's
See that thing where control? I'm not giving you any control. Come on, dude. This is like beta male fucking material. I don't know if 2-Bit is married or not, but I guarantee if this is the way he talks, his wife wears the pants in the family, girlfriend, whatever he has. This is nothing. You shouldn't be afraid of a woman trying to take control of you. She just wanted a wrongful tweet gone. Yes, you got me to say we will call him 2-Bit for now.
It's about you trying to manage optics. Funny how you're not asking anyone else to take down Kiwi Farms mentions. That's how
She did. This was in private, and more than likely, you took this down at around the same time I did.
tells me everything. You're also flat out wrong about my content. I was doing this content shift years before the guy you're weirdly obsessed with. He was never part of the equation. And you calling anyone an alcoholic, bold move considering you're basically a walking wine spill. I'm not removing anything else. You want it gone, drop the lawsuit. Yep, you want it gone?
You want it gone, drop the lawsuit. What fucking weak energy, man. This guy is the biggest pussy I've ever seen. He's afraid of a woman, and he's trying to man up and sound like the tough guy. Send the lawsuit, Alyssa. Send the lawsuit. She doesn't care about you. Once Smash stops having to talk about her, the rest of y'all are gonna fucking stop too. The only reason y'all ever bring her up is generally in the case of, well, except for Eric. Eric, for some reason, loves to bring up her tweets constantly, especially the ones where she is like half dressed or in a bikini or something like that. So take with that what you will.
Drop the lawsuit against Smash JT. And yeah, I focused on Hogwarts Legacy and other stuff like that PlayStation PR marketing guy that was in cahoots with you a couple years ago, trying to cancel RGT 85. People don't talk about that story enough. That was long before Smash JT was involved. Anyway, she has the
Okay,
classiest response.
hold on. You can, all right.
She
Two things can be true. One, you were moving into this kind of content. Two, you rode the coattails of Smash because he got a lot of notoriety, right? Just because you were covering the content doesn't mean you were covering it successfully. I mean, are you that successful still? One day, 985, not bad, not bad. Let's do a quick channel peek here. We have
are quickly
almost
closing
100,000
on
subscribers.
BioWare, ladies and
Okay,
gentlemen.
I don't need to hear that. BioWare was dying long before Veilguard. You motherfuckers jumped on the bandwagon I was already on. Jesus. 31K, 3.6K, 22K, 4.5K. Let's see if we can see recent videos. Ooh, 1.2K, 1K. 22, this one did pretty well. 14, 780, 2.8K, 1.8K, 855 views. I mean, you're almost to 100,000, but you're only getting, what, an average of like 1.5K views with the occasional one that blows up. I think your channel's starting to die a little bit. It may be the end of your rodeo if you don't switch content again. Even this video, one day to hit 1K, so we're at 1K there. See if it goes up any more. I mean, I think for day one, if he was getting 22K in 2 days, obviously this video isn't doing as well. So maybe the Alyssa grift is starting to not pay off as much as it did. But it's... Just because you were, again, we'll say it again, just because you were making that content before doesn't mean you didn't jump onto the coattails of another more successful creator to get a little bit of clout.
Told me eat her ass, pussy. Interesting. And then she said, I did ask people to take them down. You're just effing stupid. And
Yep.
once again, knee-jerk reacting rather than doing due diligence.
Yep.
Your whole response to these DMs, girl, is a knee-jerk reaction.
Yes, it is. It's a knee-jerk reaction to the way you made the comment. Instead of just being honest, well, he was probably more honest than you see. Instead of seeing the mistake you made and correcting it, you had to make sure that you put on there that I'm not taking, I'm not giving you any leverage. I'm not doing anything like that. I don't think, like, yes, Alyssa can be vitriol with y'all and things like that, but the more and more that I read back and forth with this, she seems the less unhinged of the rest of you. I look forward to my court date. Maybe you'll be there, you ugly ass bitch. Never gotten drunk on live stream and pissed myself, so there's that. I did not know about this, and I would like to know if this is true, and if the clip is still around.
Knee-jerk reaction from you. Nobody takes you seriously. That's why you don't have a job in the industry anymore. I'm sorry. It's you. You've laid your bet in it.
I think it's two parts. So Kotaku was already dying on its own. I don't think the anti-woke did much for that. The Kotaku was dying long before the anti-wokes came into the mix and hijacked the movement into the woke nonsense that it is today. Not that all of it is. I do have my points. But her losing her job at Kotaku was probably more of her, hey, I know y'all are getting a lot of harassment from me, or even them saying, hey, you're getting a lot of harassment, we can't keep doing this, which I don't think that was the case, because she had really positive, tweets of hers, the editor backing her and stuff like that. But it was probably like, hey, I'm going to step away so y'all don't keep getting all this bullshit hate that's always being targeted at me. Because she shows in the lawsuit that there were, people sending messages to her work, to, her editor, to everybody around her. So yeah, I think it's not because she's a bad editor or a bad writer. I think it's more because there was a ton of harassment coming her way.
And again, she says, I look forward to my day in court. Maybe you'll be there. Oh, I was already planning on showing up if it goes this far, because I can't miss the shit show. And then she calls me ugly ass bitch. I've never gotten drunk on live stream and pissed myself, so there's that. No, but you wrote an article saying that you were in a bar and you slept with a guy because he said Shakira was fat. So yeah.
Okay. And like, what does that have to do with anything? Sure, it's a wretched lefty article, but what does that have to do with anything in any of this situation or what she just said? This is you trying to get back because she said you pissed your pants on stream.
Last night she was in my DMs. I complied. I showed empathy. And then the next morning she responds in the most unhinged way possible. Absolutely unprovoked meltdown in my DMs.
It's amazing that this guy can read that and actually think that he doesn't look like a complete and absolute brain dead retard in this. Like, it just amazes me that he has no self-awareness for what could have happened in that comment. Was she a little vitriol? Was she not very nice? Sure. Maybe she shouldn't have completely gone off the rails, but women be crazy. So there's that.
Like, I wasn't even talking to her anymore. She just couldn't help herself. She took that inch I gave her and tried to take a mile out of it, accused me of all sorts of things, made personal jabs, and this part's hilarious, guys, called me an alcoholic, which is rich coming from somebody who practically sweats spritz. Like, she literally had, like, go to her page and look at how many times she has a spritz. She probably smells like boxed wine and bad decisions, honestly. And the best part, like I said, you don't see her melting down asking anyone else.
Why is he showing why is he showing pictures of her like having a good time? Okay, yeah, she's probably I think Personally, I think she has enough connections that she lives better than probably most people think on those things outside of the harassment stuff. But I mean, this is just someone showing pictures of themselves on the weekend. How are you making her look bad because she's having a good time?
else to take down posts mentioning Kiwi Farms, just mine. Because this isn't about protecting her family, guys. This is about control. It's about silencing.
See this bullshit. We're already starting to get into the buzzwords. I hear it coming. It's not about control. Why would it be about control? Like, what makes you think it's about control? She wanted a tweet taken down. She said it was from her family. What in her statement said that she wanted to control you?
People selectively while pretending to be the victim. If it's not painting Smash,
Pretending to be the victim, it was her fucking docs. It was her and her family's docs. Like, how is it pretending to be the victim? I need you to explain this to me, 2-Bit, because right now you're just sounding retarded.
JT as the bad guy, she doesn't want it up. Now, if you're somebody who's been following Alyssa because of the lawsuit that she filed against the Smash
Yeah,
JT
that's right.
situation, with what's going on with their videos,
Yeah, I'm showing off 8-Bit Murphy right here. If you've got any funny videos, there's apparently a tweet that's alleging that in a stream he got drunk and pissed himself. So if we've got that, I would like to review it as part of this this content, or maybe at a later date.
maybe you thought she was standing up for something, right? Maybe you believed that she was acting in good faith, but this is how she operates behind the scenes, guys. This is
She operates by wanting the people that she says is doxing her to stop spreading her docs. Yeah. Real unhinged. Real unhinged.
how she acts. She DMs people privately to demand things. She weaponizes empathy when it suits her, and she flips on it.
How does she weaponize empathy? Like, to weaponize something, you have to actively use it against them. What has she done in these tweets to use it against you? Like, where is that? You have to go somewhere and use it as a weapon. All she's done is ask you to take it down, and then when you made your retarded little comment and basically acted like a complete vagina, saying, I'm not going to give you any ground. You can't control me. I'm not afraid of you. Then she fucking lost her shit, right? Weaponized empathy, like Smash JT saying his family was doxxed and such. Yeah, every time Smash gets on screen, I don't know why I keep getting off and on this motherfucker. It's because I'm just chatting and thinking with my my slot brain instead of my gaming brain. Yeah, I mean, Smash does this on a daily basis. He constantly brings up, and you know what? What's funny about this? Alyssa kept her family quiet on the whole thing until this situation, where I started talking about it, and until 8-Bit leaked this specific call log, she hadn't said anything publicly, as far as I know, on her family being in this. And she even specifically told me it's because she wanted to keep it quiet on her family. So I may have played a part in that information getting pushed back to where it was. So that I am remorseful for, especially if something happens to her family, right? Alyssa has been taking the heat for a while. So it's your fault. Nice. Yeah, it's my fault for calling them out. I made the mistake. I said I made the mistake of linking his article because it further linked it. I should have just used the screenshot. Me and Alyssa agreed on that. So I'll take the L there. But it doesn't change the fact that I was calling out Smash for spreading her docs openly on his website to this day. He still hasn't taken it down, even though I've requested that he does.
A dime when she doesn't get total control. And that's not how adults handle things.
Total control. This guy talks about being an adult. It sounds like a kid talking to other kids about being mature. You should be more mature about this. You should be mature that Smash is spreading your docs all over the place. Right? You should be more mature for your age. Dude, you sound like a fucking child. And the instances you talk for a child. You refuse to take any accountability for the things that you have done in this situation too. Okay? You refuse to show Eric needs more teenagers to yell at. Yeah, but then he doesn't sound like he's all that competent, and he'll just have to put the fries in the bag himself, you know. It's just, what do you say further to this? This doesn't make him look good. Is all I can say. This video does not make him look good. It makes him look brain dead. I missed the bit about Smash supporting BLM. That proves the dude more of a lefty than me. Yeah, there's so many things out there of how Smash has changed his morals. It's just absolutely hilarious. Smash doesn't care about anything for money. He doesn't care about gamers or any of that other, or care about anything but money. All he cares about is gamers. Yeah, these dudes could have been mature, I don't know, moved on from her. Instead, they saw $5 off YouTube ads and said, give me that. I have some bangers on my Twitter mocking Smash. I'll have to go through that and find some more. I mean, my biggest thing that I don't want to do on here, right? And I keep talking about myself because that's the reference I have to go by, is I do not want to come to the point of where I'm not, I want to be truthful in everything I do. Like, if I say something, I want to at least at the time believe I have the right information. I want to have looked into it, gotten it from good sources, all the typical stuff. I'm not going to take insiders, so don't think that's going to be a thing. But, you know, I if I'm ever wrong, like I was in this situation, I want to admit to it. And that, I think, should be the minimum standard for anybody. You were wrong, 2-Bit, about her docs not being on there. You acted like a child after she asked you to take it down by adding all this other text into the situation because you're afraid Alyssa Mercante may get control of you, because I guess you don't know how to act like a man. And then you make this video acting like you're some big dude making videos about her now. You just look retarded. You look like a baby, and you look wretched.
How professionals act during a lawsuit. That's not how somebody that's supposedly traumatized.
What does this have to do with it? Like, your interaction with her has nothing to do with the lawsuit. There's nothing that in that text or tweet that I think is going to ruin her lawsuit. Should she be digging into Smash some of the way she is? I personally don't think so, but I don't know law. I don't know what she's finding out from her lawyer. That's completely into here. But now you're trying to bring in the lawsuit instead of the interaction you're having. Let's stay on topic.
Engages with people that are trying to de-escalate a situation.
Whoa. De-escalate? Is that what that is? You didn't de-escalate. You didn't de-escalate with me. You just kept doubling down or calling me, which... good point. I forgot. Now that we're to this point, 8-Bit Eric, as funny as it was, called me an actual grifter, right? I'm a grifter who who just is never gonna, I'm just in it for the money, all 36 of my subs. And man, I thought to myself, just absolutely like, man, I'm a grifter, but I haven't gotten my paycheck yet. Like, what's going on here? Where is my paycheck for being a grifter? Because I need to make this happen, right? I need to make the money. If I'm going to grift, if I am a grifter, I need to make that money off of it. So what I did, so I went into Streamlabs and I set up a little text alert for y'all to be able to tip me I'll have to find the link now. I'm having trouble. Finding it to get the link in. But in Streamlabs for $2, we're gonna do a little shill here. Got 6 people in chat. Let's see how many likes I have on the video. Shilly McShill Shill. Where is it? Where is it? What do we got here? What do we got? Boop. Get out of there. Nope. There we go. What did you just do? Open up this, buddy. But if you haven't liked the video, like the video. Get me the likes that I need. Yeah, I got 4 likes in the video and 5. No, I got 6 people in here. That means 2 of you are mooching off of this grifter's content and not getting me to getting paid. So put that in there. Give me a couple likes so we can push my grifting ass to the top. And here soon, when I find it, I will post the link for you to tip me for being a grifter. Now, no one has to tip me. This is more a joke than anything else, but it does read out TTS. So there we go. There's my grift. We'll see if I find my tip pay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Boom. Bam. What is all of that? Okay, that's not it. That's not it. Boom, boom, boom. English. As we find other stuff. But, so there I am, the grifter I am. Let's get back to finishing this video.
I took down the post. I was trying to de-escalate it, and that's how she gets. I learned a lesson here, guys, and maybe it's one that some of you need to hear too. Stop giving these people the benefit of a doubt, because when somebody shows you who they are, you need to believe it. Okay, this is a comment I hear them say all the time, like every one of them. When someone shows you who they are, believe it. All right, well, you show me to be a beta male who's afraid of a woman taking control of her because maybe you're a sub in your relationship. You're disingenuous. You will say information is wrong, and then when you are proven or corrected, because you don't like the person, you will decide to keep the wrong information up. And you support a guy who actively spreads the docs of at least one other person and the names of other people at which that said person has admitted leads to doxing and harassment. is her. This is Alyssa Mercante. This is why you don't negotiate with people who want power, not peace, right? She doesn't want peace. She doesn't want people to get along. Without that struggle.
How do you get any of that from any of these interactions that we have? Like, what about this whole interaction with Alyssa is her wanting to gain power over anybody? Like, most of the tweets that I see are her like, leave me alone, you guys are harassing me. Yes, sometimes she brings it up on her own, which, Alyssa, you need to calm that down on your side. I think it will help, but I understand to a point. Just stop talking about each other. I feel like I'm having to be the adult and be like, hey guys, just stop talking about each other.
Without her being a victim, she doesn't have her book that she's writing. She doesn't have her Patreon. She doesn't have her articles on all the websites that she writes for. She made her own bed with Smash JT, and now she wants everybody else to lie in it with her, right? To lie with the fleas. So for those of you who think that she's still fighting the good fight, ask yourself, is this the kind of person who deserves your support, or are you just afraid of being her next target? I think a lot of you are afraid, right? Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay sharp. Don't get guilted into submission. Always remember,
I think that's it.
It's a two-way street. If somebody drives over you the second that you show it, they were never worth it to begin with. While she's throwing tantrums in the DM. So I'm done, okay? No more deleting, no.
Yeah, this is just an excuse that he's using so that he can keep doing what the stuff that he wants to do, right? And feel morally right. He's telling himself, I'm morally right for doing this. 8-Bit Eric is pathetic. It looks like his channel is starting to die like all the other anti-wokers. He takes no accountability for himself. He's just a little wretched human being who the only thing he holds on to there at the end, it was priceless. The subscriber graphics, yeah. So it's weak. This guy is weak. He's afraid. He's running from talking to me. He says I'm a grifter and that I don't have any good faith or anything like that. Let's see if I can find that tweet too. We'll bring that up. Oh, excuse me. No, we don't need to see those. Hold this over here. Spoilers. Again. Let's see here. Old 8-Bit Eric. So I thought, hey, this is a good opportunity to get someone that I disagree with on. Maybe we can actually hash it out and I can get someone to agree with your content. So 8-Bit Eric's response basically to me on that was, no, I'm not going to do that. And then he said this, which for me, it's just very telling on him. You don't give your enemies a platform, plain and simple. This is very telling. Enemies. They have to be the enemy. It can't just be someone you disagree with. It can't be anything else but the enemy. And as long as you call them the enemy, you're always in the right no matter what you do. This is actually a very SJW, social justice warrior tactic that was used back, 2016 and on. Us versus them SJW tactic. You can't have a good conversation with these people. He even gets into it here. No matter if they say they want to have a conversation or challenge you. That's rarely about honest dialogue. It's about control. 8-Bit Eric is so afraid about being controlled. He's so scared that someone's going to take away his control. Yes, literal hug box, Kimoji. Literal hug box. Optics. It's always about optics with these people. We can't just, and what optics is there me saying this? I guess I'm making Smash's optics look bad, sure, but they do look bad because he has this out there. And baiting you into validating their story. Okay. Do you think it's wrong that Smash JT has Alyssa's docs up there? You say doxing is bad. Do you think spreading it is bad? If you agree spreading it is bad, then you're validating my story. But he's never going to come out and directly say that. He's going to say, I think doxing is bad, and then never say anything else about what Smash is actually doing. A couple of the other people and think, well, it's technically not a dox. Yeah, sure, it is. By definition, not a dox. It's still spreading someone's personal information to a wider audience. So what's wrong with me validating a story that Smash JT did something wrong? If Smash JT had come out and messaged me back and said, hey, you're right. You're absolutely right. I shouldn't have put that docs up there. Well, he didn't even have to say you're absolutely right, right? He could have come out and simply say, I'll delete it. And then delete it. And I would give him more props than anything else. He doesn't need to give props to me. He doesn't need to give any kind of I'm sorry statement to Alyssa or anything like that. Though, that can go a long way with stopping this whole harassment back and forth bullshit that's going on. It's just taking accountability and living up to your L's. Simple, easy. If you're a man, you have to own your L's. Period. Otherwise, well, you're a beta cuck. When you give them our platform, You hand over your audience your credibility and the spotlight they didn't earn. So here's the thing, like if I go on to 8-Bit's podcast, right, his show, and I talk with him, do you think I'm going to pull any of his fans that believe in this Alensa stuff away? It sounds like he's afraid that I may make a good point, right? That I may make something he can't defend, and he'll look stupid, and maybe some of the people who've been watching this will have a little crack in their armor and realize, wait a minute, something's wrong here, and do a little bit of digging to find out more, right? It's almost like he's afraid that his arguments aren't strong enough to be able to defend. You know, I'm always willing to test my arguments and be proven wrong. So come on anytime, 8-Bit. From this on out, I'm calling you out. I'm a nobody shitter, but I'm calling you out. If you are so strong in your arguments and all of these things, talk to me. Talk to somebody else besides just sitting in your little hug box with all your little other SJWs clapping about how bad Alyssa Mercante is while you circle jerk. They're not here to debate in good faith. That's, you know, you won't even give it a chance. Clip it. They want to clip you, twist your words, turn your space against you. You don't own airtime to people trying to tear you down. Silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. Strategy. So, by strategy, he just confirms, God, this weather is getting me. The allergies. I didn't have allergies when I was in my 20s or my 30s. I didn't get them until like late 30s. So, I mean, it just says he won't talk to you because he doesn't feel strong enough about his arguments. He's weak. He's beta. He just wants to sit in his little hug boxes and be proven wrong. And then, of course, our buddy McDizzle, always with the good ones. That's a whole lot of words to say I can't handle a conversation with people I disagree with. I would look silly. And Carl. Yeah, that's why I mock you, cucks, because none of you argue in good faith. A lot of people, I think, get good faith wrong. Like, the way good faith is used now is not really the term that it is actually supposed to be. Like, when I think good faith, or when you look at, like, good faith, it's about, if I invited, so if I said, hey, 8-Bit Eric, let's come on and talk about Mario Kart. And then he comes onto my channel and I say, why did you dox Alyssa Mercante? Then, yeah, that's a conversation not in good faith. But if I say, hey, 8-Bit Eric, I want you to come on my show and talk about Alyssa Mercante's docs, I'm not being in bad faith. That's what the argument's going to be about. Just because you don't like my position or you can't talk against my arguments isn't bad faith. It's just meaning you're not, I don't want to say winning, you don't have a good stance on what's going on, or your arguments aren't strong enough, right? They just don't want to be proven wrong. So that is it. That's my little 8-Bit Eric rant. Oh, there was, hold on. I do want to show something funny. Something funny. My first, who sent it? When did we see that? Was it in replies? Did I reply to it? Yes. Does anyone have the Mick Rib video easily available? At all, if you can, go into the Discord and send it in to me. We might have to bring it up later because I didn't. Oh, wait, no, maybe I did. Okay, hold on. Maybe I am terrible about capturing this stuff. As a streamer, I need to do that, or I need to talk somebody into doing that for me. Where are we? There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. It's right here. It's right here. Damage Sector brought it to me. That's right. All right. This is what 8-Bit should focus on. This is Kino content right here. This. Does this happen to be the drunk stream too? Is he drunk in this stream? Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. So again, that's 2-Bit Eric. A waste of space that runs from anybody who disagrees with him, and it believes that everyone is trying to control him. That we're trying to put chips in his brain. So, this is my, what the heck was? Let's take a look at the next thing. So I wanted to start talking about pirate software, of course.
Hope you're having a lovely day. I'm starting to feel a little bit better.
Theo. So I want to talk more about pirate software. There's a couple videos that have come out. One I wanted to watch is, I don't know if anyone knows who Soggy Cereal is, but this looked like an interesting video, and I'm leeching off of another content creator started watching it, and I'm leeching it from him. Soggy Cereal. If you don't know who Soggy Cereal is, he was involved in the Mr. Beast drama, especially around when Ava was being accused of grooming minors in the Discord, and then it turned into a Mr. Beast thing. He ended up making a video on some of the situations, exposing God, what was that dude's name? Dogpack 404, for being the degenerate loser that he was, with really no good arguments. But now he's made a video on pirate software. I thought we would watch it, and I might actually get some stuff done in this game.
I've always had a special interest in...
Okay, hold on. I wanted to hear that. I might need to turn this up a little bit on my end. Booyah.
As a game developer who worked as game engine and tools developer on Helldivers 2, I've always had a special interest in YouTube's gaming and...
So is that true? Did Soggy Cereal actually work on Helldivers? If so, that's interesting, and I had no idea.
Game developer community. While learning C++ programming, I watched Cherno. Danny was my go-to for game design, and for math and physics, I just smashed my head into a wall. However, one I always avoided was pirate software. No, not the practice. I did that when I was a kid. I'm talking about the content creator.
Hey, Benzene! I saw you being, bringing some content to Dicker's stream earlier. Well done, well done.
They can eat my entire ass.
Also nicknamed Thor. Some of you may know Thor as Guy, who explained very simple basic concept with serious voice and big words in MS Paint, making him seem like very smart person. And that is how you kidnap children. Maybe you know him as Guy who allegedly cheats in puzzles.
What I like about this, and the reason I want to watch this, is it looks like he is going a lot of the less degenerate history of pirate software. I mean, I don't know if he gets into some of the furry stuff or the furry sexting that he did, or about pirate software's love of nodding. but he is going over at least some of the stuff, like this is him cheating, people calling him out and being like, there's no way he figured this out on his own, other stuff like that.
Game streams to see more of an intellectual.
He's being exposed for
This is stuff that Upper Echelon should have looked into before he made his dog shit video, right? This is what I would expect the level at least to go into, of looking at pirate software's history to discover the kind of person he is before you make a decision on this one situation.
cheating puzzle game playthroughs now. It's blowing up again.
You've possibly seen him blame,
We have that kind of a mistake again. I'm disbanding the party. I'm gonna go run with other people.
This was a good one.
rage,
God damn it, guys.
and whine.
Just lost 4 hours of crafting materials. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Of course I'm going to be a little bit upset about that.
Against the supportive viewers for being terrible at a game after someone accidentally attacked an NPC called the Ocular, which then killed their entire team.
Dude, this ocular stuff is funny. Like, because this happened before the roaching, if I'm getting my timeline right.
God damn it, guys. So one of you... Hold the ocular. Why? Now half the raid is dead. Oh, I swear to God, I'm gonna go back in the video and find out who pulled that damn thing, kick him out of the raid. That is insane shit. You have to be better than that. And we just lost all of those materials because you're not paying attention. This is basic shit. That is insane shit.
Yeah, how dare you attack the Ocular, you stupid, dumb, moron.
Thor pulled it in a clip? Link.
Oh wait, what's that? He was the guy who wrongly attacked the Ocular? Making it his fault everyone died? Gee, I wonder how he's gonna apologize for being so toxic to his supportive viewer base for no reason whatsoever.
I'm not at fault there. I'm correct there. Doing that 100%. That is not on me. No.
Okay, actually getting everyone killed and wasting 4 hours of time was a good thing. Now don't you dare question it or you'll get banned.
This guy sounds like he takes criticism well. You sound like you want to talk to me about it in the unbid. You're just shit stirring. I'm just gonna I swear to God, I'm gonna go back in the video and find out who pulled that damn thing, kick him out of the raid. That is insane shit. You have to be better than that.
On Twitch, he's one of the kindest, most supportive and knowledgeable game dev program. Even though he has threatened to sue an indie developer on false grounds, and his codebase would have made me fail my first year at university for my game development bachelor. And if you don't know him from any of that, then you might know him as a... guy who worked at Blizzard.
I worked at Blizzard, so when I worked at Blizzard, when I first started...
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching. Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
No! Oh, God. One day I'm not gonna do that. One day I'm just gonna get it. So anyway, we may get to it later. I'll see if I can look it up. But basically, the situation that Upper Echelon got wrong was that this was completely erroneous. Or well, it wasn't that he got it wrong. He didn't even do the basic research to figure out if this was something that was true. He was just like, oh, damn. I'm dead. Me playing games and talking isn't working out well, but I'm going to get better at it. It was basically completely frivolous. He bullied the guy into submission. And then it took another lawyer coming in pro bono to stop Pirate Software. Anyway, let's continue now that y'all can hear my beautiful voice.
Blizzard. I worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
I know, he rarely mentions it. I'm just kidding, he mentions it all the time.
Blizzard. But for Blizzard, this is 100% your worst take ever? No, it's not. You know what I did before this? I worked at Blizzard Entertainment.
Now, having worked on Helldivers 2 at Arrowhead Game Studios, I understand taking pride in your work. Hell, I opened this video sharing that pride, and every few months I'll rewatch my 5 seconds of delivering democracy in their April Fool's video. I'm a YouTuber and my entire life is an April Fool's video. Especially when my contract is making me do an ad read at the start of my videos. Wait, no. Today's video sponsor Fume.
Jesus Christ, okay.
A device designed to help
well
you
played.
get bad habits and replace them with better ones. Fume uses plant-based cores with only natural ingredients to give you flavors like plus maple pepper or my favorite crisp mint. There is no stanky smoke, no vapor, no addictive nicotine. Just naturally flavored air that gives you something to reach out for without the chemical. I personally hadn't heard of Fume before they reached out to me, but I'm glad they did because ever since I was a kid, nail biting whenever I'm really stressed out. And with everything going on in the world right now,
I promise I'm good at this game.
of having used it, my nails
Promise I'm good at this game.
chip pains because with its satisfying.
Oh god,
I have
fuck you.
Now I just gotta buy a nail clipper. With over 500,000
Get rid of that, dude.
thousands of success stories and their
There we go.
investments in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products. I take my Fume everywhere I go. And right now, if you order the Journey Pack using my code SOGCEREAL, you'll get a free Fume topper. So if you
Alright.
your habits, this is the perfect first step. Go to tryfume.com/soggycereal or scan the QR code on screen to grab yours today. As you'll see with Thor, there's a pattern where the line between pride and hubris start threading real thin, especially when it's making a mistake, which I use as
Okay, I need to-
To lose your best salvage to the
up
Kirab?
to them.
Hold on.
Why not join the Kirab? Live a life of freedom. Take what you need. Be subject to no master. I am in need of a few sturdy
There we go.
Sending whenever someone else makes one, but he doesn't.
I'm not at fault there. That is not on me.
And he is.
Eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. A really stupid ass move. That's incredibly stupid ass move.
Nonetheless, I never quite felt like making a video on him because everything bad he did always seemed trivially obnoxious in itself, but after what he has done to an initiative I deeply care for, well, now those toxic instances formed a pattern not just plaguing 4, but one reminding me of everything I hated about the game development industry, which I wish to unravel. So let's start talking about...
Okay, here we go. Stop killing games. So, I don't know that he did all that much damage to it. He is a big YouTuber. I think he may have kept other YouTubers from getting into it, but there does seem to be a lot of people that still talked a bit about it in a positive light, right? So I think they're giving him a lot of weight when it comes to this. The sad thing about Pirate Software is I don't think he's going to change his ways. He's completely ego-driven. If you listen to even just a few clips of his talk with that therapist guy, he's just absolutely ego-driven narcissist. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, and he'll never be proven wrong. No one can tell him otherwise. How do I keep doing this? Oh, this is Soggy Cereal, so we might watch this video too.
Stop killing games. Stop killing games.
For the past decade or so, game publishers have taken it upon themselves to take the entire right of ownership of their games from the buyer's hands and keep it in their own hands with the use of licenses, making it so that if one day they now decide to pack up shop and go to the Bahamas, well, they can take away access from everyone who has ever bought their games. You can see this in the license agreements from scummy, greedy companies like Blizzard, saying Blizzard reserves the right to terminate this agreement at any time for any reason or for no reason with or without notice to you. EA states that if they decide to shut down a game or service, well, they'll tell you at least 30 days in advance, after which you can go fuck yourself, because after online service termination...
Yeah, I've had a lot of talks with people in chats talking about this situation, so I've gotten, like, I can see where... I still don't agree with it. I think the initiative's good. But, like, I've seen other content creators make some fairly good points about it. With, like, what's the money aspect? Is it going to cause gaming prices to go up because companies are so ingrained in this situation? I don't know where that leads, but I think we somehow need to get back on this path of us at least being able to own the content that we buy, right? I think that's important. Services, like service style stuff, I think is great in a corporation style thing where you need thousands of instances of one piece of software. But like for the individual user, why am I signing for a license for something when I could just have the game and be downloadable all the time, right?
They can guarantee their games will continue to function. With Ubisoft, this license confirms no title or ownership in the product. Ubisoft may terminate this agreement at any time for any reason. Ubisoft abused their practice in 2024 when they took their servers offline.
A lot of the arguments too around this are kind of like, well, that's just the way it is. And to me, that's such a shit argument. That's just the way it is. Because yeah, it is the way it is, but does that mean we shouldn't try and change it if it's bad for the consumer?
And for racing game The Crew, a game with a mere 12 million registered players who now, after buying it, all lost access because you could not play without a server connection, causing immense community backlash. So inspired by the train wreck caused by The Crew, or guess I should say car wreck, creator Ross Scott, who runs a YouTube channel Accursed Farms, started the Stop Killing Games initiative, with its current goal being to introduce European legislation that prevents publishers from leaving their games in an unplayable state at the end of their life cycle. All it asks is to just have publishers leave
I put it on the wrong one.
reasonably functional and playable state before shutting them down. And to even get this off the ground and in front of the eyes of European lawmakers, it needs at least 1 million signatures. Now, I care deeply for this. I signed the petition not only because I grew up my entire life playing video games, needing that escapism.
I agree, it is an outdated mentality. It's just corporate greed when game companies do it. Yeah, I agreed. Like, I understand that we don't send out, like, I don't agree with the whole idea that I should still keep getting a disc, right? That to me is outdated. I remember arguing with friends, being one of the few people to argue with friends when Steam came out, that Steam was a good thing because your hard disk could get damaged, but I can always go to my Steam account and pick up the game. Now, there are some problems like games that I have that are no longer playable. I wish there was a way. Oh, well, there is a way, but it doesn't happen as often as I would like GOG being a preservation company that'll keep them up to date so that I can play them. But I'm not against the idea of digital selling. I just think that digital selling should be a sale and your ownership of the digital copy, not a license. Which I understand, pirating, blah, 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 but I think pirating is more of a issue with the market than an issue with that just happens, right? Pirating tends to go up when services become less accessible. You see it happening right now with all of the sites like Netflix and Amazon and all of this Paramount. I can't just watch videos like I can with music. I have to buy a specific service, and all they start to add up. So what do people start doing? They start pirating it because I can get it in one source from there.
During a not so fun upbringing, but even if I didn't, I still believe in basic consumer rights. A publisher shouldn't have the ultimate decision to permanently take it out of existence just because it's not as profitable to the shareholders anymore. And I wish to believe most people share that ideology, including Pirate Software.
It's incredibly important to me that we keep making games and that the next generation has the tools to do so that our medium doesn't die out. And it never will. And that's the whole intention of all.
Yeah, both should exist as it offers alternatives. Are you saying pirating and are you saying discs and digital? Because, like I said, I disagree with that to a point, because the discs do run up price, and how many people actually still use them? I think eventually it'll, like, once all of us old fuddy-duddies like me who want all the digital, want the discs and stuff like that, finally die out, it won't matter anymore. But I understand that idea of having your own disc, that no matter what, you have the disc for it. I don't think that's wrong, but I do think it's a dying medium. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, what's the balance to that? And even then, like, most discs aren't discs anymore. It's just the initial load up to download the game, which I think is more of a waste of money than giving the person a game on a disc, right?
All of this.
Of course he does. He's such a good guy. Wait, he said what 5 seconds later?
This is shit. It's shit. Oh shit, now this is actually really dumb. That's awful, dude. Eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass. This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then.
But
what do I need? Okay.
Thor not just criticizes, but bashes and demonizes Stop Killing Games.
As you can imagine, we've been less than thrilled that Thor here has become the dominant voice of the campaign.
And I wouldn't have such a problem with that if the majority wasn't straight up misinformation and there wasn't such a conflict of interest. See, the initiative...
Yeah, I think that's a big problem too, at least a lot of people are having with Pirate, that he won't bow down to, is like it's grossly... He's just wrong in a lot of ways.
wishes to see that any game that requires purchase or subscription fees and a server connection to remain playable after a company shuts down their server. This self-evidently includes live service games, which are games that continuously receive new content to keep higher player retention, multiplayer games, and amongst other categories, single-player games who now often, because companies hate us, require a constant or with intervals server connection as anti-piracy measure, which we call a DRM. Damn you, Hello Kitty Island adventure! So when Thor started saying things like...
For those who don't understand, the Stop Killing Games initiatives is basically, we don't want single-player games to have DRM that the developers can turn off and thus render the single-player games inactive anymore. This is what they want to change.
Or...
It is vague. They need to be specific that they're talking about single-player games that do not need a server to support them.
Misrepresenting to his millions of viewers that the initiative's language was too vague, that actually they're only referring to single-player games with online DRM, which they aren't. That with this vague language, it would ruin live service games?
Would have to sunset live service games as a single-player experience. The idea that suddenly you need...
Yeah, this is so grossly ridiculous, and I can't even possibly think, without him being like malicious, where he got the idea that they need to rebuild the entire game to be a a single player experience. Someone made a good point to me the other day, or not a good point to me. Someone was talking about it the other day or today or somewhere, who knows, with my brain, that, you know what some people want to do? Shilling ain't easy. That's a good point, Kamoji. Shilling ain't easy. And since I am a grifter, as I've been called by 8-Bit Eric, I want everyone to know that that I'm taking that in full force. And since I'm not getting paid as a grifter, I'm gonna start changing that. So above in the pinned comment is a link to my Steam Labs tipping account. I have $2 TTS. So if you want to support me in any way and help me with my grifting endeavors, you can send me a tip there. That helps out immensely. Right now we currently have, let's see here, 8 people in chat. Shoot, 9 people in chat and only 5 likes. That means a couple of you are mooching off of my content and not doing the bare bones basic. So give me a little like, help me build a little bit of content here so that I can be the grifter that everyone thinks I am. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Need to make every single live service game playable single player offline? No, dude.
Oh, anyway, since I got distracted with that, what I was going to say is there are some people who would like to be able to boot up the game and just walk around the game by themselves as like a remembrance thing. Host it. So there's a lot of talk about hosting it on the client or people being able to make their own servers. But I could imagine like a situation where, like, if World of Warcraft shut down, completely shut down, you don't think there would be some people who would want to go in there and just, offline services that I'm going to say to counter argue Pirate Software's logic. Offline service that's all I'm going to say to counter argument his logic. Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing too. There are offline services that people will pick up. I want to say that I heard at some point, I don't know if it's still going on, but after what was the first Star Wars game? Star Wars Galaxies or Star Wars something like that. After that one finally closed down, that for many years it had a player base that was obviously very small, but ran on private servers. It's so easy to be able to do. Well, I can't say it's easy, all right? I'm not a tech guy. I don't know how difficult that all is, but there has to be some approach that can be a compromise with game companies, right? It can't be all doom and gloom. If we try and do this, it's going to ruin the gaming industry.
Correct. No.
Yes, I am correct.
Stop Killing Games founder Ross Scott disproved that claim. Pirate Software going as far as saying what the initiative is asking is so fucking stupid and outrageous, it made him angry like a little tiny toddler.
That video made me actually mad. Like real mad. Not like fake memes mad, like actually mad. Like, I'm actually mad.
To the point he said he wasn't just not gonna back it, he was actively going to boycott this consumer right movement.
Not only do I not want to back this, I'm gonna actively tell people not to.
And so, people wondered why he'd do that? I mean, even Ross was interested in having a conversation about it and left a comment on Pirate Software's video to correct the misinformation he was spreading. His comment got deleted and the request for a conversation denied.
I reached out to him.
Would you consider reaching out and talking to Ross about it? No. And the reason why is because I found his entire statement over the YouTube incredibly disingenuous.
Over the YouTube.
Garbage.
Yes, Thor, Ross Scott, the average used car salesman who spends months to fight for consumer rights for free. I've seen him say some dumb pretentious shit, but knowing the initiative doesn't even take donations, its founder being on YouTube even before it was profitable and has been advocating against killing games for at least 6 years, makes this one of the dumbest. See, but Thor works as a strategy director at a...
That I didn't know, that he has been doing this for more than just a few years, right? He's been doing the good fight for a long time. And this idea of ownership of games has been an idea for as long as digital started coming into the market, right? It was a big, scare fest on all of our games are going to become this way, and no one believed anybody, and now here we are with us not owning anything and eating bugs.
publishing company called Off-Brand Games, and a publisher's goal is usually not to create or develop a product, but to make sure sales are as high as possible and that the product is profitable. Now, at the time the initiative launched, well, Rivals of Aether 2 was in development with Off-Brand Games as its publisher. And Rivals of Aether is a live service game, so when Thor said this...
If we don't like the idea of live service games as a whole, I get it would impact every live service game that exists.
Well, people noticed he was acutely aware of the possible hurdles a game he's helping publish might face if regulation laws were introduced. So trying to entirely twist the initiative's message...
It is vague.
Can't kill it.
Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
And completely discredit Ross.
It's used car salesman garbage.
Could be seen as beneficial for him.
That is true. That is a good point. I've said it before. Like, he has a vested interest in this initiative not going through, as as he might have to fall under these regulations for a game that he is publishing.
Get this initiative passed. If that means I have to get insulted all along the way, okay.
This shit sucks. Eat my entire ass.
I'd recommend watching Ross's video if you want more details on just how far Pirate Software went to boycott this entire thing. But what makes me angry most of all is firstly how after all this came to light, he still quadrupled down on most of what he said, even though he was disproven multiple times. Then started banning and blocking anyone even slightly critiquing him. But also...
And this is repeated behavior from him. This is something that he constantly does. This isn't like a one-off or anything like this. This guy is a crybaby who just absolutely was just absolutely will not give an inch in there. Sorry, got a little breaking news here. What is this in reference to? I might have to go find that later. Anyway, we might have to go find that later on after stream. So yeah, I mean, it's just over and over and over again with the guy, and finally people are seeing him for what he is, and he's getting mocked all over the internet.
How he tried to guise it as being a selfless hero.
Because I don't want, and this is the real one, I don't want the government telling indies that they have to have their live service game stay online for...
Now he's trying to appeal to the libertarian in me, right? I don't want the government to come and do stuff, but sometimes someone has to fight for the little guy, and sometimes that's the government. I hate to say it.
Forever. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. But when you're talking about a legal setting to force people to do this, you're generally moving in that direction.
He just doesn't want indie developers experiencing legal trouble. Which is very ironic coming from the guy who, unbeknownst to most, threatened to sue a solo indie developer.
Yes, he is getting into it.
To file a legal complaint against that dude earlier, we're going to take you to court. You're going to lose.
Maybe I should talk about that for a second. As many of you know, a few months ago, a group of content creators formed a guild called OnlyFangs in World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore, a game where if you die on a character, you lose that character permanently. Pirate Software was part of this guild, playing as a mage. Now, not only was he known for pretentiously mocking new players and bullying other mages in the guild, going as far as to say watching them play made him sick because obviously, he's not like the other stinky noobs. He is best player out there, cause...
You know what I did before this? I worked at Blizzard Entertainment.
Okay, well, at one point, when he and his teammates were streaming and got themselves in a dangerous situation, most of the team tried helping each other survive, while Thor, you know, the guy constantly boasting his hitherto undreamt of skills, ran away and said there was nothing he could do.
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
This is
savage.
This, just that moment, pirate, where are you walking, bro, is like burned into my head. It gives me a hit of dopamine every time I hear it because I know what's coming next.
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
No, I'm not nearly unemployed enough to care about any of that. It's what happened afterwards that started showing his true character. See, he was caught lying about his resources, actively wasting them while running away, so he could then claim that there was nothing he could do. And then when confronted, even though there was video proof, still lied about it, blamed everyone but himself, became extremely hostile towards anyone critiquing him.
Because they're goddamn insane. Because this guild has turned into a content guild.
Yeah, content guild built on hate.
Banning and blocking people left and right. Even in debates with team members, he would make everyone respectfully listen to his side thoroughly. But then from the moment other members wanted to share their perspective, left the call like a little child.
Yell over another person like you were doing earlier?
speak?
Nah, I'm good.
You.
See ya.
He got kicked out of the Content Creator Guild, not because he made a mistake, no one really cared about that, but because just as with Stop Killing Games, he went in acting as a person with the most...
I think he knew he was going to get kicked out for his bad behavior, so he like tried to pre-game it ahead of time before they were like, hey, listen, man, being an asshole, so see you later.
Authority ended up shitting the bed, then kept lying to try save Grace, and when exposed, acted like a fragile ego toddler getting reprimanded for sticking crayons up his nose, then angrily insisted the adults around him put them there. Anyways, getting to the at the time, an indie developer
Pirate don't make no mistakes.
Parody game ridiculing embarrassing streamer modes, such as a Pokemon for streamer cookies controversy, or XQC for being XQC.
He multiplied.
Game on Reddit, including Pirate Software as a cockroach.
As much as you're angry right now.
Ooh.
Which, in the World of Warcraft community, refers to players desperately scurrying away instead of helping their team whenever it's around. Now, up to that point, no streamer had made any issue of this game existing, and it definitely wasn't going to be the big supporter of indie game developers who desperately fought the evil consumer rights initiative Stop Killing.
Yeah, this was like the smallest game. This guy does it as a hobby. You know, he likes learning to develop. They're very simple games, and big old Pirate can't have nobody using his voice.
Games to prevent indies from imaginary legal repercussions, right? He falsely DMCA'd the game, which is similar to copyright striking on YouTube, meaning it got taken off of the Steam game store. Why, you ask? Well, Thor would likely give an elaborate explanation about how using his voice from stream clips infringes on his copyright.
And said that he was using my voice in a video game, showed a bunch of videos of it, and then put that game up on Steam. Cannot use somebody's likeness or voice in any way inside of your games without...
Which, if I'm right, this isn't 100% true, right? You can use someone's likeness and voice. Like, hasn't South Park made their entire... thing about other people's likeness? So I'm not even sure this is correct. If you want to label Pirate and Grum's behavior, I think they are just evil nerds. That's just what it is. That's a way to put it. I don't even know that they're nerds at this point. Like, yeah, I guess Pirate is because he, you know, was a cybersecurity guy, or apparently a very bad one, by the way. Apparently not a very good one, but... This is... But yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. You're right.
Without their permission.
And he'd probably be correct. Problem being that those voice lines weren't in the published game. The developer just screen recorded on his own PC as a joke. So the developer reached out to Thor clarifying this and then asking if he could drop the false DMCA on his game. So obviously Thor did the most kind-hearted and sensible thing.
We're gonna take you to court. You're going to lose.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
This legal abuse ended up pissing off an actual lawyer who then took the case to fight Pirate Software's
Mario
free of charge. Which, there's an entire Substack with more details. I'll put it in the description if you're interested. But the situation basically ended as we're now used to, with Thor lying, doubling down, deflecting, and blocking any criticism until he finally dropped the DMCA. He lied about his EVE Online skills to make himself look...
And he didn't drop the DMCA because he wanted to, right? Even after all that stuff. He dropped it because Mario threatened to basically put the hammer down on him and go all the way. In fact, Mario saw it and said that he planned to go after this lawyer who was clearly not understanding the First Amendment and stuff like that. And then he found out that Kronos, Pirate Software's lawyer, quote unquote, isn't in the US and isn't even like a court lawyer because it works out so weird over there in Britain. So he had no idea what he was talking about when it came to American copyright, fair use, any of that stuff. Or any of that stuff. So it's just it's just so funny to see it all happen.
Look better deleting any comments debunking them. He lied about TV show Mr. Robot to go.
He should have hired Ron Coleman. I have heard some, I mean, I'd say that, but Ron Coleman's in a lawsuit of his own right now for not doing what he was supposed to do in the courtroom. And he could end up having to pay a lot for his misconduct.
Comments questioning his claims. He abused.
I could bring that up if anyone's interested. I got the information. I don't know that there's a lot to it right now, but it's something I'm watching.
His huge audience to match report players he dislikes.
He began assaulting Lobby caravans and threatening to get solo players banned who lashed out at him when he served their caravans with 40 players.
Oh, hey, wait, this guy's gonna get banned from the video game. I'm gonna report the shit out of this guy.
Tech, there's allegations with proof. He even fakes his voice to sound deeper.
It's our first time out here at Denver Comic Con, and there's so many people, and they love the games.
This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then.
He keeps lying to make himself look better. What are you, the Elon Musk of Twitch? Why does he think he can keep doing this? Why does he get to enforce his elitist thought?
Well, because he's been getting away with it for so long that he has. Like, people have just taken him at his word for, you know, however long he's been doing this and gotten popular. They just think he knows what he's talking about because he pulls up paint and does little arrows and everyone claps like fucking seals.
Thoughts as undisputed facts throughout the online game dev community?
I worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
Yes, we know, but that doesn't give you the right to...
I've been in the gaming industry for about 20 years. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment.
I said we know. Although you never really were a game developer there, were you? See,
let's go.
Dad had an important role there.
My dad is the WoW guy from South Park. He was the cinematic director for Blizzard for 23 years.
And half his time there was spent as QA or test engineer, meaning he wasn't a game dev. No, he tested what the game developers made. And then the rest of his career there focused on cybersecurity. Again, not game development. They are two entirely different ways of working, and I can see that because for someone constantly critiquing others, his code, while potentially good in other roles, is fucking terrible for game development.
Wow.
That's probably the main reason his Kickstarter game is now so delayed. People are now asking for refunds.
Oh man, does that sound like another guy we know?
Than that of a game dev. I have friends in cybersecurity and I would not know how to do their job. And QA is crucial and often sadly looked down upon because frankly, a lot of people in the game dev industry are elitist. Which is why I made this video, because I hate the elitist rhetoric Thor spews. It brings me back to my time studying for my game dev bachelor's in university, where so many students would act kind, but then use bragging, lies, or insults to fabricate authority over you and make everyone around them feel inferior. Third years would grade first years? Even teachers would support the idea of looking down on students studying in IT fields outside of game development. And I fucking hated it. That made me develop imposter syndrome. So
now that's an interesting thing. I mean, I think that can happen with anything. Like, I know I talk to people who work in a variety of different fields where they're like under an engineer, and how absolutely moronic a new engineer can be when they come in and don't actually know how things work. They just have their degree, but they're the smartest guy in the room. I'm still streaming. Yeah, I'm trying to start going about 4 hours in my stream, and I'm trying to be consistent. with my streams as well. I gotta build that content and start making those big bucks.
I couldn't stand seeing a popular streamer normalize this behavior because it shouldn't be. It's already so common that my recruiter at Arrowhead Game Studios told me he screened me for it because if they don't, they'll often recruit ego trippers like that, incapable of dealing with criticism, who are unable to function in a team setting so often that they gave them the nickname Brilliant Dicks. Because they act brilliant.
Oh, that's fine. You can do under an hour.
Dicks.
That's awful, dude. No. Eat my entire ass.
Just know that if you were like me on the receiving end of such individuals and ended up feeling inferior because of it, try to ignore them and focus on proving them wrong. I didn't know jack shit about game development or programming at the start of my bachelor's, yet at the end, I ended up completing challenges that they couldn't, because instead of learning from the people around them, they were too busy sniffing their own farts. Can I confidently say that Thor is a confirmed?
I have a video game associate's degree, but I haven't done anything in gaming. The best I know to do is some basic 3D modeling concepts, level design. I'm more of a writer type of guy. That's pretty cool, man. Excuse me. I can tell you that's what I wanted to do when I was younger. I wanted to get into game development and things like that. But when I was a kid, one, I wasn't very good at coding, right? I'm already dyslexic, and just getting into all the numbers and code, it was hard for me to find that one error and stuff, even with simple code like HTML. So I kind of figured, yeah, that's not going to be my go-to area. I ended up, dropping out IT altogether and doing other things. But I mean, it's cool that you've got that experience with it. And hey, there's nothing wrong with writers. We need good stories. But to say what I was going to say, back in my day, when there was like a really toxic, it's probably still pretty toxic, really toxic gaming environment where you basically, once a game was done, you just fired everybody but the top people. And I just didn't want to live in that kind of world where I was moving from company to company. I think that's a little bit more stable now, minus all the layoffs. But, it is what it is.
Narcissist? No, because I don't have a psychology degree to back it up. What I can say, however, is that while Thor might believe the delusion that he's some uniquely gifted genius deserving to look down on everyone around him.
Yeah, I remember telling my friend I could write a better story for The Last of Us 2. I don't know, I'm not much of a writer, but I think I could write a better story from what I understand. I have an associate's degree in psychology, and I haven't done much with it, but I lean more on my bachelor's in digital communications, but not much. Well, I am a dropout. I'm a college dropout. That's what I am. But I'm 40 and I got one retirement check coming in, so I think that works out for me.
Well, for me, he's just another brilliant dick.
I can see how easy it is to manipulate people emotionally to gain money on the internet.
Yeah,
don't ever even want to get near.
All right, question while we're in here. Harkonnen or the other one? I have no idea what to do with my life at all. That's okay, I'm 40 and I still don't really know what I'm going to do with my life. So you've got time, I suppose. So Harkonnen or God, why can't I remember their name? I'm listening to the damn book every time I play this game, just about. Here you, honorable, next. We'll take both of them for now, and I'll try, because you can go up to a certain point with both of them.
Inspired to contribute. I mean, Duke Leto, ours is a noble. Then perhaps the Harkonnens have no. The Samuda addicted
contract. All right, there we go. Let's get back to the video. Oh, that was the end of it. We were right at the end. Yeah, Pirate Software. That kind of gives you, I guess, a little bit more background.
So just like he's a gay furry. He's a gay furry.
Okay, let's close that. That was about Pirate Software, by the way. All right, so Quinn Theo made a video where he talks to a game dev about kind of what Pirate Software is wrong about when it comes to stop killing games. So I figured this would be interesting to watch. We may not be able to watch it today. It's an hour long. Yeah, let's find another video for now. We might find... Oh, I wanted to watch this. This is quick little video for the masses.
We're gonna pose a problem to you and then shit on your desk and then make you clean it up and figure it out. It's a nail bomb to take out a wasp nest.
They have ceased to exist.
Require publishers to leave games they have sold to customers in a working state at the time of shutdown.
How are you gonna do that with World of Warcraft? How are you gonna do that? Thousands of tickets at private servers for World of Warcraft. And we see this all throughout their FAQ. We see it all across this. It is inflammatory language across the board that is vague. They need to be specific that they're talking about single-player games. So live service game when we turn...
Oh, that's not my bike.
The game dies, because it's all rendered completely on the server side, and we do that specifically for security reasons, because if it was all rendered client-side, then you'd be able to cheat the game dramatically easily. Of course we keep...
I've always had, you said I couldn't get into the Dune books. I like them. I always get a little disinterested when it starts using a lot of the, what is it called? When they get into the Fremen and it's a lot more of that style of like Islamic speaking and stuff like that. It just becomes harder to read or listen to. But I've been trying harder to do that, and I'm enjoying the first one. And I want to get into the really weird stuff. This wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be, so we'll bop that out. This is another... let's watch this one. Stop Killing Games. We'll do a little Stop Killing Games content right before we leave. And before we get over to that, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to shill for my video again. If you haven't liked the stream, go in and like it. Helps me out, helps me get out there to people and get things going. So I appreciate that. If you do want to support a little guy, a little non-monetized guy who just wants to watch videos and grift a little bit, in the pinned comment is a link to my tips. You can leave me a little tip there, $2 TTS, and it reads it out for you. So, yeah, help me out where you can. Thanks for watching the stream. Just watching is enough. And let's get back to this video on Stop Killing Games.
So I wanted to go over the Stop Killing Games initiative, and I also wanted to go over some of the thoughts.
Lewis Rossman has talked about this before. I haven't watched his previous ones on it, but I guess he pushed pretty big into it and was shown, obviously, as one of the ones in Soggy Cereals. But I guess he's bringing himself back in the ring, and I'm kind of hoping he's going to talk about Pirate some.
Thoughts that I had about the entire thing. I'm going to be going over a number of different things in this video. To get the important stuff out of the way in the beginning, number one, the Stop Killing Games initiative is an initiative that goes over the fact that when you buy games nowadays, there are games that you buy, and they're not like the games that I bought when I was a kid, where I could just load them into my console on my PC and I could play them 25 years later. These are games where they just die. Like they stop working at some point. You buy the game, you paid for it once, you go to use the game, and it doesn't work anymore. And this is something that people are sick and tired of. There's also Ubisoft saying that you should become comfortable with not owning games. I went over this article, and this is, yeah, fuck all of this. Anybody who's watched my channel for any point in time likely understands what side of this I'm on. This initiative is an initiative that tries to come up with a framework so that a game publisher is going to have to create an end-of-life plan so that at the end of the game, when they turn off the servers and everything stops working, you still have a working, functioning game in some way, shape, or form. It may not be as pretty and witty and wise as it was before, but it will be a working game. If you think that this is something that should be at least discussed or considered, here is the link that you should click and sign for if you are in the EU. Want something to understand about an initiative is this is not like a bill in the United States where all the politicians vote on the bill and then that immediately becomes a law. This is simply the start of a negotiating process. So if there are parts of this that you think, I'm not really a full fan of this, or I don't think that this should be worded like that, this is kind of like scribbling something on a napkin. This does not mean that what is written here is going to become a law. It simply means that...
Yeah, that's the thing with it too. Like, a lot of people are a lot of people who are really against it go over the vague, go over this and that, but it's really just trying to start the conversation. And I get sometimes that can, like, politicians can go completely the wrong direction with this kind of stuff. But I think it's better, it'll get in both sides of the argument. Pull in maybe some smarter people on both sides, and hopefully come up to some kind of decision that makes sense.
If this gets 1 million signatures, that the people in the EU that actually have the power to make things into laws will look at that napkin rather than discard the napkin. The second thing is, yes, I get it. I sound a little bit like RFK Jr. when I'm sick. You're not the first person to point it out. Just go away. I know. I know. I don't hate vaccines. I just intensely dislike them. Person at the fucking 7-Eleven down the road asked me to do an RFK Jr. impression. Fucking asshole. I just need some more time. I want to figure out what chemicals are making the kids sound so fake and so gay, but I don't know. Perhaps we'll figure it out. Maybe not. I have to drink some water. I can't do an entire video sounding like a fucking meme. There's no way in hell. This is too serious a topic to sound like a meme. That out of the way. I think you're all going to be disappointed in this video, because what I think many people want is for me to do some 6-minute video that follows this particular cheerleader template. It's going to be something like, I want you to mention it, say why it's really important, throw Thor Pirate Software under a bus, do not do any more than a surface level.
Yes, please throw Pirate Software under the bus.
Level analysis into any of the critiques of the initiative, end video, be done. I don't really want to make that video. I honestly don't really want to watch much of Thor Pirate Software's content because it's irrelevant to me. If I'm gonna get the software developer side of this, I don't want to listen to him. I would much rather listen to software architects that have more experience creating software than Thor has being alive, because they've been doing it for longer than he's been alive. And one of the great things about the network of people I've built over the years, as well as having a YouTube channel with 2 million subscribers, is if I want to hear somebody that has senior software architect, senior cloud, data center, whatever type of experience, I can talk to those people, I can find those people, and I can have real conversations with them. And I've been cultivating these types of relationships over the past several years. And you're going to hear from them. You're also going to hear from people like Ross Scott. I'd love to do a live stream with him where we just go back and forth and answer questions about this initiative and talk about what it is he's trying to accomplish. And I'd also want to talk about some of the stuff that I heard when I was listening to his video.
Really?
Some of it actually did kind of hit home for me. So the first thing here is, again, why am I not going to include Thor in this conversation? Why am I not even just going to show him on camera or discuss with the things that he said? Is, well, A, he has said that he doesn't want to talk with people in the movement about this. He doesn't want to talk to Ross or anybody else. Okay, well, the thing is, I don't have to talk to you. I can talk to many other software developers that are infinitely more knowledgeable, that have way more experience, that could also provide the information that he may be able to provide, but with much more context without...
I'm not sure he would be able to provide that much more information. I just don't think, like, the more and more I hear from Pirate Software and then I hear from other devs, I feel like he's a bullshit artist. Like, he knows just enough to sound like he's smart, but he actually doesn't fully really understand what's going on.
Kind of being a dick, right? That's possible. Thor has talked about, this can eat my entire ass, this is all shit, blah blah blah, and and to be clear, there's actually some reasons I can understand why somebody who's an indie game developer would feel that way. I understand it, and we're going to talk about that in this video. I really want to go into some aspects of Ross's video that stuck out to me. So there's a few here that stuck out to me as somebody who's been in the trenches with the right to repair stuff for many, many years. Here's the first one.
For most of the past year, the initiative has bounced back.
At least he doesn't sound like Yellow Flash. I don't remember his voice now. It's hard to remember all these people's voices when there's like 12 of them on screen and they're all yapping around the same time.
And forth between being the third and second most popular active initiative in the EU. The only ones that topped it were far more serious social issues. So that says to me, the problem isn't getting gamers to care about games, it's getting people to care about anything. And frankly, that is a checkmate move. If people can't care enough to write their name on a form to protect their rights and stop things they care about from being destroyed, then yeah, I can't do much with that. I am not a Care Bear that can shoot light out of my stomach to make people give a damn. Plus, it's hard to know how many people don't care and how many never knew about the initiative. And
hit home for me because there are so many times where I've talked about the issues that I care about, and rather than people take real action, you just see them insulting each other in the comments. You're an idiot for buying this. You're stupid for buying that. Even if
that's gamers, baby. Really?
For what it is that you need to do, and I've done like 99% of the work for you. Simply getting somebody to lift a finger for something that affects their own self-interest is virtually impossible.
Dune Awakening is definitely a game. Looks like a game that I'd hold up for years. Yeah, I'm having a blast with it. I have another server where I play with some friends. Gamers. Gamers are ridiculous people. Yes, I know. We can be absolutely brutal with each other. And sometimes we can love one another in different genres, too. We've got both sides of it. Is there a word for moviegoers? Are there any moviegoers left? Like, I thought all the theaters were dying out. I don't know.
Getting people to do anything is very difficult, and watching him become black-pilled in this way in real time is shocking for me, because I feel like I'm kind of watching myself of like 5 or 10 years ago start to realize why
cinephiles
in society continue to exist or persist as problems in society, because a lot of people just don't care. He's completely right there.
Now, I have been maybe fairly criticized for not running a fundraiser for this.
I was one of the first people, I think, that was like really hard in his ear saying, yes, raise money for this, raise money for this, start something, start an organization.
There are reasons for that. The first is, until recently, I didn't know where we would spend it. People would say buy ads, but the initiative could be considered political, and YouTube doesn't allow political ads in a lot of EU countries. Another reason is I am one of the worst people to manage that sort of thing. Financial paperwork is an Achilles heel of mine.
I'll say this when it comes to that, like, the fact that he can understand that, I think, is a good thing, because I don't know that I could manage something like that. So I would probably want it to get put off to someone who actually knew what they were talking about, or actually knew how to manage that kind of stuff, versus, you know, me trying to manage it myself and it failing.
It seems to take me 10 times more effort than anything else.
When you raise money, you can find people who are better at those particular individual things to do those things.
Okay, good point.
It's not about how you're going to do it. It's about who you're going to find to do this thing for you. There are a number of things that I'm very, very bad at, but I can hire somebody else to do those things who are better than me, and then I can focus on the things that I need.
No, I mean having knowledge of all the obscure forms you need to fill out, what all the tax laws that apply are, what all the specialized terminology is, and just all the hidden rules.
A nonprofit attorney will do that for me, and there are nonprofit attorneys that are fairly cheap who cater to the activist type of people that are not ExxonMobil, that are trying to change the world and make something a little bit less shitty. And you can find them.
God.
You've got to find them. And
God, not only am I going to die, but I'm going to get eaten by a worm.
At a point.
It was a third of our funding then, business.
No.
So the
no.
Together a fundraiser?
No. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, God. I'm dead. I am dead. Get on the bike. Get on the bike. Go. I'm surprised I've lived this long. And there he is. No. Go, 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 go. Well, now I have to build a new bike. Like Grum should have done with the game formerly known as Ember. Yeah, I think I don't think much of that money went into the game. Trade bonus. Let's head home.
Might be considered a political fund that needs to adhere to laws in multiple countries, and if I make a mistake, that could be considered a crime? Oh, no. That's like asking somebody with severe dyslexia to write a book.
No.
I am the
No.
but I've still been trying to the best of my ability.
This is my first base, not the one I built that has all my stuff. This base is completely empty, except for a few things. Damn it.
Ability anyway. I didn't discover this until late in the process that even though general ads were out, sponsored messages were still an option for some countries. And some mysterious benefactors emerged offering to pay them directly.
And I forget exactly what timestamp he said it, because I was listening to this video while I was taking a walk earlier. But one of the things that was one of the most popular comments is taking money with no plan is a grift. That was what he said. And make a plan. Rise to the occasion.
After that, no, I'm done. In fact, I think some people might be...
This is good. He's actually being, like, critical and harsh of him, at least in his things to say the plan. Like, he agrees with the movement, but he's telling them, like, if you want this to work, you have to do something. You can't just sit around on your ass and hope it's going to happen, right? Get more people involved, build the movement, make it bigger.
Surprised just how done I am after July. It's not that I will have changed my mind on game destruction, it's just that there's nothing left after that. So I don't want to waste even more of my life on this. I've paid my dues. My income's dropped significantly since I started this because I haven't had time to make more fun videos which people would rather watch. And I don't blame them one bit. So besides being sick of running this thing, I have to make up for lost time so I can pay rent. Plus, believe it or not, I want time to actually play games and not just fight to keep them all the time.
He's not going to like that.
I don't care, sir.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Life is not fair. Nobody else rose to try and do this until you did. And once you did, you became the figurehead of a movement. Whether or not you like it, until that torch is passed on to somebody else, you are the best person to organize. This is before I just get into all the feelings that I have when I listen to this, I want to talk about a project that this kid came up with. He reached out to me with it a few months ago, and it's called LRM, Lewis Rossman Malding. You have LLM, Large Language Model. This was his machine learning project for a honors computer science thing. Lewis Rossman Malding. And the way it works is it takes a snapshot from every single one of my 3,000 plus videos over the past 13 years. It finds the snapshot in that video where I'm looking at the camera at a very specific angle. It then creates a flipbook of them, and then it tries to figure out at which point in time was I balding the fastest. So which period of time over the past 13 years I listened to the fastest. And he actually was...
Okay, I like that program.
Plot this on a graph. But the point of the matter is I was able to look at his little graph and see at which point was I losing.
Oh, I don't have a battery.
And one of the things that I found interesting about this is you can almost kind of directly plot it with me becoming more serious about the things that I talk about on this channel, with me not just talking about right to repair, but then deciding I'm going to travel the country and I'm going to take my camera and I'm going to make it a more serious issue, and I'm going to try and talk to news outlets about this on a regular basis, and I'm going to try to raise money, and this billionaire gave me $1 million, but that's to an organization that I can't lobby from, so let me try to raise $1 million myself for my audience. And oh wait, I'm not allowed to, if I want to do a ballot initiative, I have to raise it to a ballot committee. Ooh, so I can only use that for traditional lobbying. Okay. Hey, there's a lot of things that occurred over the past 10 years that have literally caused me to lose my hair. I can plot high losses during periods that I...
Oh God, thank you. One of these days I'll get it straight. I need to start looking at my my actual OBS more often, because I do this too much.
Look at in my journal were periods of high stress for me.
I just wanted y'all to see me better.
Or my late 20s the way I imagined I would have. And there are some benefits. I have a channel with 2 million subscribers that I could milk ad revenue on if I decided to start putting a bunch of sponsors in my videos instead of having no sponsors and telling my entire fucking audience to use uBlock Origin. I don't do that. But the point is, there's a reason that I do the things that I do. There are many times that I've thought, what the fuck am I doing? I should give up on everything that I'm trying here. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the stress. I'm sick of the aggravation. I'm sick of the reputational harm and damage from people that I thought would be happy that I was helping them. And when I read that email from somebody saying, my mother got a replacement wheelchair with multiple sclerosis in one fucking day when it would have taken 3 to 6 months otherwise, thank you, I learned something. When you have the means, you have the responsibility. You have the means, you have the responsibility. I don't care that you think you're done. I don't care that you've lost income on this and you think about it and you've had to do things that you're bad at. That's a part of life. We are going to continuously improve and grow every single day. That's what we're supposed to do. And taking on a burden of a responsibility that if we do what we're supposed to do properly, will help other people. That's the point of life. It's not always fair. It's not always fun. You gotta fucking do the work, bro. I don't care I don't care if you feel like you're done. I don't care if you feel like I'm done. Like, one of my nonprofits is about to run out of money. I am putting my last of it into one final grant, and when that's done, that particular nonprofit, I'm gonna be closing. But that's after 4 fucking years of work and putting in all that effort. That's not after 10 months and I never even did a fundraiser because I have to rise to the occasion. Because somebody else was not doing it. For some reason, the randomness and the entropy of the universe, I got the opportunity to talk about this issue. I got the opportunity to move forward with it. I got the opportunity to be somebody that people trusted providing money to for this, that I was not just going to use it to buy a yacht or a Lamborghini. And if people look at the 990s of my 2 nonprofits, Repair Preservation Group and Repair Preservation Group Action Fund, you'll see that I've paid myself nothing. $0, nothing. But what I did with that money is I was able to hire people. I am not a good lobbyist, but I could hire somebody who's a lobbyist. I'm not a good organizer, but I could hire somebody who's an organizer. I'm not a good planner, but I could hire somebody who's a planner. I'm not good at dealing with all the intricacies of what I'm allowed to do with campaign finance in particular states, but I could hire somebody who's good at that. So instead of being, how do I figure this out? It was, who can I hire who can do that for me? And did I get the right to repair pass in the way that I wanted? No. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I did or that I'm some big...
So this is a good point. I think you could say that, like, a lot of what Ross has done has been hoping someone will come around and, you know, pick up the movement and make it work. But I mean, the reality is oh, I do have a whole set here. Nice. That just isn't going to happen with these kind of movements. You know, maybe he was hoping for the 1 million to hit and just, you know, it all work out. But if you don't start it, if you don't keep feeding it, then it's never going to go anywhere.
Excess that I'm not. But did manage, with the help of everybody here, to move the needle a little bit in a way that I would not have been able to if I didn't pick up the fucking mantle and accept the responsibility and the purpose that was given to me, rather than say, I'm not good at it, or I may not win, or I'm tired. I'm going to say something that you're probably going to be mad at. A lot of my audience is going to be pissed at. You're done. I don't give a fuck that you think that you're done. You're not even close to done. You're just getting started. You have a lot more work to do here until somebody else decides to pick up the mantle. With right to repair at this point, I feel like I've pushed it up the mountain as much as it's going to go. I see the ball starting to go down the other side, and there are other people out there that are doing good work in other states that are pushing things forward. So I am okay with relaxing into the role of being a little bit more of a cheerleader at this point than being somebody that's really pushing very hard in the way that I was before. Starting new organizations, hiring people, doing fundraising and all of that. But I needed to do that at the point in time that I did it because I had an opportunity that others didn't. And when you have the means, you have the fucking responsibility. You have the means that many other people do not in this case. You have the attention on you. Okay. You have the support of the audience. You have the support of the community. Who the fuck else has that? You have the responsibility to rise to the occasion and become a good fucking organizer. And if you're not able to do that, you have the responsibility and the accountability for the betterment of the community to find somebody who can. If you have an issue with paying your rent, if you have not been making as much money off of your videos, I'm not saying you have to do what I did and not accept money from your nonprofit. Frankly, that would...
Did a Curse Chan need to do that? What, rise to the occasion? I think he... I mean, I can agree with this first, you know, that he needs something more, or at least someone else to help him in it. I know he's talked to, you know, people and politicians and things like that, but I wonder, like, does he need some advice to go up for it? And it seems like now that the initiative has kind of blown up, he may be getting more back into it. So we'll see where it goes from here. It missed the EU thing, but it got up to like 800,000. So it did more. It almost did more quicker, or it definitely did more quicker than it's done, you know, in the whole time it's been around. The the Brit one is going to Parliament now. So yeah, this just seems too preachy to me. It's annoying for the from the guy you're watching. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like something a guru coach would tell you, right? Like, so I can see that. And from Ross's side, if you want to defend Ross on this side, if it's gotten to be too much for him, it's gotten to be too much, you know? Not everybody can pull it together to do it. Part of that means to be able to do something does come with the mental part of it. And some people aren't meant for that kind of movement, you know? He's definitely not the kind of drama guy. He's a really nice guy who just wants to do his movement and move on.
It was stupid. When I raised $1 million for that nonprofit,
but I also would like to avoid becoming an activist like him. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people want to get involved in all the politics stuff of that, which is like it's a failure for gamers and things like that. It's like what we need to do to get our games back, but none of us want to do it.
Should have paid myself a real fucking salary because it would have made things a little bit less stressed for me. I would have not had to wonder, oh, gee, when my business gets an audit right after I start this fucking nonprofit a few months later, and that audit may cost me over double or triple what it is that's in my bank account plus the entire worth of my company because of an idiot in New York City, maybe I'm not going to be losing hair at the rate that I was. Maybe I wouldn't have been distracted from the movement the way that I was in the way that I was if I knew that money was there. I screwed up by not paying myself a salary from that nonprofit. I didn't, and I promised that I wasn't going to do it for damn good reason because it was mostly broke people that were in my audience that were donating $1 here, $3 here, and I felt some sort of way about it since I have a business already in the YouTube channel. But the point of the matter is, you should look at this audience that you have over here. You have how many people here? 765,000 people just in the European Union, because those are the only people that are going to be able to properly sign this, I believe. I think that you have to be a member of the EU in order to do this. If each one of these people gave you 10 cents, I imagine that this could probably make up for a good portion of the lost revenue on your videos and being able to pay your rent. Your rent seems like a big expense to you, and to most people watching this, your rent likely is the biggest expense that you have in your life. It's probably more than half of your
I'm a homeowner, so
I don't know how it is where you are. It's likely like that in a bunch of other places. But your rent is so inconsequential in the story arc of the amount of money that could be available if you simply asked your audience to contribute to a nonprofit. You paying your rent would be the last thing you'd have to worry about. But the thing is, you'd have to do a good job. You'd have to rise to the occasion. You'd have to say, I am not going to accept, I am not good at this. I either will become good at this, or I will find somebody who is good at this, and I will make sure that I will learn how to be a good manager of them. The thing that drives me nuts is listening to this is that there's so much potential that is not there, not just for you to become a better activist, but also for this movement to be further along than it actually is right now. You said that with Pirate Software, you didn't want to get drawn into a drama thing, and you didn't realize until 10 months that the right thing to do was to talk about it, right? It took you 10 months to learn that. You know how long it took me to learn that? 5 years. I started talking about right to repair in 2009. I didn't start my channel until 2012. I didn't make a video on ICE rating small
okay.
until 2013. I didn't do a video on right to repair until about 2014. It took me 5 years to realize that I was holding other people to a different standard that they were holding.
Well, I think we've kind of seen he's been part of this movement for what, 6 years? And it really didn't blow up until recently. I don't know how active he was in that 6 years, but I feel like he has spent a lot of time doing this. Maybe not as much. Dude's talking too much about himself for my taste. Yeah, he does that a lot. It's better when he's clowning on some other dev about right to repair, stuff like that. This was kind of a dud in it, because I get what he's saying, like keep pushing through the movement and things like that, but ultimately we'll see. It's up to Ross, and just because you did it doesn't mean that Ross wants to go down that full line of everything doing it. Sometimes it's just more than you can handle. Now, personally, I hope Ross, now that he's become the face, does rise to that occasion, because he is starting to make sway and make moves. And while he didn't win the EU thing, it is starting to spread around. We'll see if it dies in a week, like most drama does. But I think he is getting, I hope he's getting reinvigorated by it, you know?
Holding me to. It took you 10 months to figure out the same lesson that you were holding.
This is going to be him talking about himself and giving a pep talk. We might watch some of this next stream. We might do a chill stream and just watch some videos that people have sent to me. Oh, but for now, we are going to be calling it a night, people. Hope you had fun coming by. If you haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. If you're just watching the video through on YouTube, I'll clip some parts of this up. Definitely the 8-Bit Eric is going to make it. But like the stream, subscribe, and we'll do this more. Good night, everybody.